What if today was the day you finally stopped looking around for applause and started building the kind of life that speaks for itself? What if, instead of chasing likes, compliments, or attention, you became the kind of person people admire in silence? Not because of what you said, not because of what you posted, but because of how you live, how you walk, how you hold yourself when no one is clapping. Be honest. How many times have you doubted yourself just because someone didn't approve? How many times did you shrink your light because it made someone else uncomfortable? How often have you traded your truth just to fit in? Seeking approval feels safe, but it's a trap. It keeps you small. It makes your worth dependent on someone else's opinion. And worst of all, it robs you of your freedom. But not anymore. Today, you are going to learn how to stop seeking approval and start becoming the one others admire. Quietly, deeply, genuinely. These aren't just motivational ideas. These are Stoic lessons, time-tested, battle-proven, and built to make you unshakable from the inside out. So, take a deep breath, because after this, you won't need applause to feel enough. You'll carry your own approval inside you. Before we begin, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. Write in the comments, "Starting today, I no longer seek approval. I am enough. I am stoic." You're not just typing words. You're sending a message to your mind. You're training your thoughts to stop begging for outside validation. The more you repeat this, the more it becomes who you are. So write it down now, and let's begin. Number 1. Build a life that would impress your 12-year-old self, not your peers. Close your eyes for a second and picture yourself at 12 years old. That little version of you, the one who still believed in big dreams, who didn't care about likes, followers, or what brand of shoes someone was wearing. That version of you admired courage, not cool, grit, not glamour, honesty, not popularity. Now ask yourself, would that 12-year-old be proud of who you're becoming? Be honest. The craving for approval doesn't usually come from the people around you. It comes from something deeper, something forgotten. Most people aren't chasing praise because they need the world's opinion. They're chasing it because they once felt invisible. They're still trying to fix a moment in their past where they felt not good enough, overlooked, or not seen. That's not ego. That's old pain dressed up as performance. And here's the trap. If you live to impress your peers, you'll keep changing who you are just to keep their attention. And it will never be enough. One moment they love you, the next they scroll past you. One day you're trending, the next forgotten. Trying to keep up with their approval is like chasing shadows. It moves every time you get close. But if you live to impress your 12-year-old self, everything changes. That kid didn't care about likes. That kid cared about bravery, about kindness, about standing up when it was hard, about not quitting when things got tough, about being someone who others could count on. That kid didn't want the crowd. That kid wanted to be a hero. Not famous, a hero. You don't need more followers. You need more moments of integrity. You don't need to be admired by everyone. You need to admire yourself when the lights are off and no one's around. That's what Stoicism is all about. Not just living well in public, but living right in silence. So here's your challenge. Start measuring your life by that younger version of you. When you're about to make a choice, ask, would 12-year-old me look up to this? Would they be proud of how I handled that pressure? Would they admire how I stayed calm when others were losing their heads? Would they smile watching me speak the truth when lying would have been easier? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, adjust. The world doesn't need another person trying to impress strangers. It needs more people trying to honor their younger self. That version of you is still watching, still waiting, still hoping you don't forget who you said you'd become. Because here's the truth. When you become someone your 12-year-old self would admire, you stop needing validation from people who don't even know your middle name. You stop caring what others think when you know what your inner child believes. You start standing taller, not because people are clapping, but because you remember who you were before the world told you to shrink. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations to impress philosophers. He wrote them for himself. Quiet thoughts, private truths. That's where real strength is built. So write your life like that, like a note to your younger self. Live in a way that when they watch you now, they whisper, "That's who I hoped we'd become." The world will try to pull you in 100 directions. Stay centered, stay true. Don't chase what's trending, chase what's timeless. Approval fades, but character, that sticks. So tomorrow, when you wake up and face a decision, small or big, ask the only question that matters. Would my 12-year-old self be proud of this? If yes, walk forward with confidence. If not, walk back and fix it. Because that's how you build a life worth admiring, not out loud, but deep down. And when that version of you smiles again, you'll know. You're becoming exactly who you were meant to be. Number 2, use reputation fasting for 7 days. What would happen if just for 1 week you stopped trying to look impressive? No praise, no explaining yourself, no carefully crafted replies or humble brags, no fixing how people see you, no reaching for applause. Could you handle it? Would your confidence survive the silence? That's exactly the test. For 7 days, practice what the Stoics would call reputation fasting. It's not about food. It's not about comfort. It's about starving the need to be admired. Here's how it works. For 1 week, post nothing meant to impress. Don't highlight your accomplishments. Don't drop subtle hints about how disciplined, busy, or talented you are. Stay silent when people misunderstand you. Let them think you're less than you are. Let them misread you. Let them talk. Let it all pass by, without a single correction from you. And here's what you'll feel at first. Discomfort. It will itch. It will burn. You'll want to jump in and fix the narrative. You'll feel the urge to prove you're smarter than they think, kinder than they assume, stronger than they realize. But resist. That itch is the addiction leaving your system. You're not being tested by others. You're being tested by your own ego. Because let's face it, most people don't seek approval because they're weak. They seek it because they're scared. Scared of being unseen. Scared of being misunderstood. Scared that if they don't manage how the world sees them, they'll disappear. But here's the Stoic truth. You're still here even when they stop clapping. You're still strong when no one notices. You're still kind when no one thanks you. You're still honest when no one listens. Your value does not depend on their attention. It never did. That's what the fast teaches you. By the 3rd or 4th day, something begins to shift. You realize how often your words are edited for approval. You notice how your posture changes when someone important walks in. You catch yourself reaching for a story just to prove your worth. And slowly, you start letting go. The silence becomes peace. You stop defending yourself in every conversation. You stop needing to be seen just to feel like you matter. You stop chasing applause like it's oxygen. And you finally breathe deeply. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "Ambition means tying your well-being to what other people say or do. Sanity means tying it to your own actions. Approval is a loan. It feels good when it comes in, but it always comes with strings. You start making choices not because they're right, but because they're liked. And before you know it, you're not living anymore. You're performing. Reputation fasting breaks that chain. When you go 7 days without feeding your ego with outside praise, you'll discover something strange. Your inner world gets louder. And that's a good thing, because in the quiet, you remember who you are without the show. You remember that you're allowed to be misunderstood. You don't owe the world an explanation for your silence, your progress, your thoughts, or your path. In fact, the more misunderstood you're willing to be, the freer you become. So here's your challenge. 7 days, no performance, no public praise, no self-promotion, no correcting the story. Let the image of you fade, and when it does, see what's still standing. If it's built on truth, it won't fall. If it's built on virtue, it won't shake. And if it's built on stoic strength, then it won't matter who's watching. Number 3, switch from spotlight thinking to torch thinking. Let's talk about the invisible pressure that weighs down more lives than failure ever could. It's not fear, it's not laziness, it's the constant heavy awareness of being watched. Spotlight thinking, you've felt it, haven't you? That sense that someone's always observing, judging, measuring, that voice in your head saying, what will they think if I do this, say this, wear this, post this? It's like you're standing on a stage every hour of the day, performing for an invisible crowd. But here's the problem. Under the spotlight, you start living for the audience, not for the mission. Every step becomes a pose. Every decision is filtered through, how will this look, instead of, is this right? And slowly, you forget how to walk your own path. The Stoic path is different. It doesn't shine a light on the performer. It carries a torch. A torch doesn't point at you, it points forward. Torch thinking is simple. You stop trying to be seen, and you start trying to see clearly. You stop looking in mirrors and start looking at the road ahead. You stop adjusting your posture for approval and start aligning your steps with purpose. The Stoic doesn't ask, will they like this? The Stoic asks, is this aligned with my values? That's the only spotlight that matters. The one inside. The inner compass. The fire that burns not to impress others, but to guide your next move. Ask yourself right now, how many decisions in your life have been shaped by reflection instead of direction? How often did you post something because you wanted to be admired? How many times did you say yes just to avoid looking bad? How many times did you stay silent because you didn't want to rock the boat? And how many times did you choose something less true just to look more polished? The spotlight makes cowards out of many, but the torch builds warriors. When you walk with a torch, you move differently. You stop caring about applause. You stop adjusting your pace to match the crowd. You walk towards something real. And when people see that kind of movement, firm, honest, silent, they notice. Not because you told them to, but because real direction attracts the lost. People are starving for someone with clarity, not someone who always looks good, but someone who always moves with purpose. The world is tired of mirrors. It needs more torches. So here's how to switch. Next time you're faced with a decision, big or small, pause. Ask one question. Am I doing this because it aligns with my path, or because I want to be seen a certain way? If it's the second, stop. That's spotlight thinking. That's the trap. But if it's the first, if it aligns with your principles, your growth, your direction, do it, even if no one notices. Especially if no one notices. because the Stoic understands this. What's right doesn't always get clapped for, and what's clapped for isn't always right. Live for your inner fire, not the outer lights. The spotlight is exhausting. The torch is energizing. One burns you, the other guides you. So carry your torch, walk your path, light your own way, and trust this. When others see your steady flame, they won't follow because you asked. They'll follow because you didn't need them to. Number 4, perform one great deed that you will never speak about. In a world obsessed with recognition, there is a rare kind of power in doing something good and telling no one. No photos, no humble brags, no quiet hints in conversation, just silence. Pure, heavy silence. This is one of the hardest Stoic practices because it goes directly against the ego's greatest addiction, credit. The ego doesn't just want to do good, it wants to be seen doing good. It wants applause, acknowledgement, admiration. That's the trap. But the Stoic takes a different path. You do the deed, you help the person, you carry the weight, you show compassion, give generously, step up when no one else does, and then you walk away. You don't record it. You don't post about it. You don't even tell your closest friend. You let it vanish into the quiet. Why? Because what's done purely for its own sake becomes the most powerful part of who you are. When you do something noble in total silence, it becomes yours. It becomes sacred. It turns into a quiet source of inner strength that no one can touch, twist, or take away. It's no longer a show. It's your essence. Think about it. The moment you post a good deed, it changes. Now it's not just between you and your values. Now it's also between you and their reaction. Did they see it? Did they like it? Did they comment? And just like that, the purity fades. But when no one knows, it's different. It's yours forever. And that kind of act builds something deep, a private reservoir of pride. Not the loud, boastful kind, but the silent kind. The kind that makes you stand taller, even when the world doesn't notice. Especially when the world doesn't notice. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself to waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. He didn't say, talk about being one. He didn't say, prove you are one. He said, be. That's what this practice is about. So here's your challenge. In the next week, find a moment where you can do something great, something kind, something brave, something that costs you something. Effort, time, energy. Maybe you help someone in real need. Maybe you forgive someone who doesn't deserve it. Maybe you give without expecting anything back. But whatever it is, don't tell anyone, not even a whisper. And every time you feel the urge to mention it, hold back. Sit with the silence. Let the deed stay buried in the soil of your soul. Because here's the secret. The world doesn't need to see your goodness for it to matter. Your worth doesn't come from their knowledge of what you've done. It comes from the fact that you did it, even when there was nothing to gain. Real admiration flows from character, not from credit. You can feel it in the presence of those who live this way. They don't need to boast. They don't need to be praised. There's something solid in their silence, something trustworthy, something magnetic. That's what you're building. And the beauty of this practice is that no one will ever congratulate you for it. No one will ever post about it. No one will ever cheer. But one day, when life gets hard and you start to doubt your strength, you'll remember that deed, and you'll smile, not because anyone saw it, but because you did it anyway. And that will be enough. Number 5. Adopt the invisible artist mentality. Imagine this. An artist works alone in a quiet room. Every day they paint with care, carve with detail, write with soul. But they never sign their name. They never show the world. They don't create for attention. They create because it's who they are, because it's what they do. Not for applause, not for fame, just for the truth of it. That is the invisible artist. And that, believe it or not, is how the Stoic lives. The Stoic doesn't need the stage. He doesn't crave the microphone. He doesn't wait for someone to say, "Great job." He just gets up, sharpens his character, and gets to work. Every single day. When no one's watching, he still improves. When no one's listening, he still speaks truth. When no one is cheering, he still trains harder. Not because it's required, but because it's right. The invisible artist doesn't care if the world sees the masterpiece. He just wants it to be real. And that's your challenge now. Start shaping your life like an invisible sculpture. No need to show it off. No need to post before and after photos of your growth. No need to make noise about your discipline, your kindness, your wisdom. Just do the work, quietly, deeply, daily. When you read something that changes your mind, don't brag. Apply it. When you resist a bad habit, don't celebrate. Repeat it. When you show kindness to someone who doesn't deserve it, don't tell the world. Let it go. These are the brushstrokes of character. They don't need frames. They don't need likes. They need repetition. Most people only try when someone's watching. They're on when the lights are on. They push harder in the gym when others are around. They act wiser in public than they do in private. But the Stoic flips that. He is strongest when unseen, because when no one is watching, the work is pure. It's not mixed with performance. It's not diluted by ego. It becomes real because it's done for something higher than credit. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but he wrote his deepest thoughts in a private journal, never meant to be read by anyone else. That's the invisible artist, working inward, creating depth, not display. So what does this look like for you? It means building better habits, not for the story, but for the soul. It means reading not to seem smart, but to understand life more clearly. It means staying kind, even when you get nothing back. It means choosing growth, even when no one claps. The Stoic doesn't sculpt his image, he sculpts his being. And the statue he's carving? It may never be displayed in a gallery. It may never win awards. But when the storms come, and they will, it will stand. Because it wasn't built for show, it was built to last. So from now on, work like the invisible artist. Build truth into your actions. Build beauty into your thoughts. Build strength into your silence. Don't worry about the credit. Let them wonder where the light is coming from. And keep painting. Number 6. Seek to be respected in silence rather than liked in noise. There's a strange pressure in today's world to be liked by everyone, to be agreeable, flexible, always smiling, always saying the right thing. But here's the truth no one tells you. Being liked is cheap. It's easy to gain and easy to lose. You can be liked by pretending. You can be liked by blending in. You can be liked by avoiding conflict, avoiding truth, avoiding yourself. But respect? Respect is built in silence. Respect doesn't come from charm, it comes from character. People who are liked often bend their words, bend their boundaries, bend their truth. They do what's expected, not what's needed. They say what pleases, not what matters. But those who are respected, they stand. They stand even when it's uncomfortable. They stand even when it costs them popularity. The Stoic plays a different game, a longer game. He doesn't chase smiles, he doesn't adjust himself to keep the peace. He knows that real power isn't loud, it's not flashy, it's not attention-seeking. It's quiet, rooted, steady, the kind of strength that doesn't need to shout because it already knows. Think about the people you truly respect, not the ones who entertained you, not the ones who made you laugh, but the ones who made you think, the ones who held their ground, the ones who didn't flinch when the crowd turned, the ones whose presence alone made you sit up a little straighter. That's the kind of person the Stoic becomes. He doesn't argue to prove he's right. He doesn't explain himself to be accepted. He doesn't follow trends to feel relevant. He walks his own path, even when no one's cheering, especially when no one's cheering, because the Stoic understands this. Respect is not demanded, it's earned, and it's not earned in noise. It's earned in moments where you stay still while everyone else moves, where you hold your truth while others water theirs down, where you choose integrity over applause. You won't always be liked for this. In fact, you may be misunderstood, misread, left out. But that's okay. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to be someone that you respect when you're alone. So the next time you feel pressure to please, to say what they want to hear, to follow the crowd, to laugh when it's not funny, to agree when your gut says no, pause and ask, am I trading respect for comfort? Am I choosing to be liked in noise when I could be respected in silence? The Stoic knows that applause is temporary, but quiet admiration, earned by consistency, by restraint, by truth, that lasts. Be the person who doesn't flinch, who doesn't explain, who doesn't soften just to fit in. Be the person whose silence carries more weight than their words. In a room full of noise, let your stillness speak. And watch how people begin to sit differently around you, not because you ask them to, but because your very presence reminds them what standards look like. Number 7. Practice the Stoic crowd exit. Take a moment and look around your life, not physically, but mentally. Where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your energy? How much of your daily attention is tied to places built for approval? Scroll, swipe, like, post, small talk circles, reputation games, conversations that are more about performance than connection. Without even noticing, most people end up living inside a digital crowd, a mental marketplace where the currency is attention and the addiction is validation. That's why the Stoic created something powerful, a simple but radical act, the crowd exit. Once a week, unplug, walk away, not forever, just long enough to remember who you are without the noise. Log out of social media, skip the networking event, step back from the group chat, detach from the applause, the feedback loops, the invisible scoreboard of likes and reactions. Then sit with the silence and ask yourself one question: who am I when no one is watching? At first, this silence will feel strange. You'll reach for your phone without thinking. You'll feel that itch to post something clever, to reply quickly, to stay visible. That's not boredom, it's withdrawal. You're detoxing from approval. You'll notice how often you've been feeding a hunger you didn't even know you had. The need to be seen, to be praised, to be included. And in that space of absence, a truth begins to surface. You are not the version of yourself you present. You are not your follower count. You are not the story others tell about you. You are something deeper. And when the need to perform starts to fade, something else shows up. Clarity, real clarity, about your values, your voice, your path. That's where real admiration begins, not from the crowd, but from you. Marcus Aurelius ruled millions, but wrote for an audience of one, himself. He exited the crowd mentally every day by reflecting in silence, reminding himself that praise and blame are equally empty if they don't touch your character. The crowd exit isn't about hating others. It's not about isolating forever. It's about reclaiming your independence. Because when you step away from the noise, you sharpen your edges. You stop asking, will they like this? And start asking, is this me? And that's the most dangerous thing in a world hooked on approval. Someone who no longer needs it. So make this a ritual. Once a week, step away. No online performance, no seeking attention, no justifying your silence, just you, with your thoughts, your standards, your path. And over time, something strange will happen. You'll stop chasing admiration, and that's exactly when it will start finding you. Number 8, value correction over compliment. Let's be honest, compliments feel good. They're warm, easy, and instantly satisfying. But here's the question, do they make you better? Most of the time, no. Compliments are like sugar, sweet in the moment, but they don't build muscle. They don't sharpen your mind. They don't push you toward your potential. They make you feel full, but they leave you weak if that's all you consume. Correction, on the other hand, that's protein. That's what strengthens you. It's not sweet. It's not easy to swallow, but it feeds your growth. The Stoic doesn't chase praise. The Stoic invites refinement. He understands that being admired isn't the goal, being improved is. And the fastest path to that is through honest feedback. Even the uncomfortable kind, especially the uncomfortable kind. So the next time someone challenges you, pauses your idea, questions your actions, points out a flaw, don't flinch. Don't defend. Don't explain. Just listen. Let it land. Let it hurt if it needs to. Because that pain, that sting in your pride, that's where the growth begins. Most people are allergic to correction. They only want applause. They only want agreement. But in doing so, they stop evolving. They build their identity on comfort, and comfort doesn't make warriors. It makes ornaments. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone." That's the Stoics' mindset. It's not about being right. It's about being better. So here's your challenge. Shift your reaction to feedback. The next time someone corrects you, even harshly, say thank you. Not sarcastically, but seriously. Say, thank you for telling me. Not because it feels good, but because it means you're still coachable, still humble, still growing. Real strength doesn't flinch at correction. It welcomes it. It says, refine me. Because every correction is a sign you're worth improving. Think about a sword. The more valuable the blade, the more it's sharpened, scraped, filed. It gets tested by fire and struck by steel, not to break it, but to make it dangerous. You are the blade. Compliments might shine your surface, but only correction hones your edge. So the next time you're tempted to chase praise, pause. Ask instead, who in my life challenges me? Who tells me the hard truths? Who corrects me without sugarcoating? Seek those people out. Keep them close. They are the rare ones. They are the ones who will help you become undeniable. In a world addicted to comfort lies, be the one who hungers for uncomfortable truths. And slowly, quietly, you'll become sharper than the rest. Number 9. Reframe approval as a poisonous shortcut. Approval feels like water when you're thirsty. It feels like relief, like recognition, like you're finally seen. But here's the problem. It's not water, it's salt. The more you drink it, the thirstier you get. Each compliment, each like, each nod of approval feels like a sip of something good. But it doesn't satisfy. It deepens the need. It trains your mind to depend on external praise just to feel normal. And over time, you forget how to validate yourself. The Stoic sees this clearly. He doesn't treat praise as a reward. He treats it as a test. Because every compliment carries a question. Will this make me softer or stronger? Will this inflate my ego or deepen my humility? The Stoic understands this. True greatness is built when you learn to treat both praise and blame as equally meaningless. Yes, meaningless. Because if you rise when they cheer, you'll fall when they boo. If your joy depends on applause, then your peace is in their hands. And that means you're never free, never whole, always adjusting, always chasing. So the Stoic rewires his thinking. He says, praise is not my fuel, it's a byproduct. Think about it like this. Imagine a craftsman building something beautiful in a workshop. His focus is on the wood, the form, the function. He shapes it carefully, slowly, intentionally. If someone walks by and says, "Wow, that's amazing," the craftsman nods, maybe smiles, but he doesn't stop. He doesn't change his technique to earn more compliments. He keeps working. Because he wasn't building for praise. He was building for truth. That's you now. Stop building your life for applause. Start building it for truth, for values, for inner alignment. The crowd is fickle. They cheer what's popular, not what's right. And if you spend your life chasing their claps, you'll end up exhausted and empty. So here's your practice. Every time someone praises you, pause. Don't reject it. Don't overabsorb it. Just examine it. Ask, am I letting this praise shape me or simply acknowledge me? If it shapes you, it owns you. If it only acknowledges you, you stay free. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." That includes praise. And here's the deeper truth. When you stop chasing approval, you begin to earn something rarer: self-respect. Not the kind that comes and goes, but the kind that stays. Because it's based on how you live, not how they react. Admiration should never be the goal. It should be the echo that follows you when you stop needing it. So stop drinking the salt water. Start digging a deeper well. One built on discipline, on clarity, on silence. And when the crowd cheers, let them. But keep walking. Number 10. Create a private virtue ledger. Forget the scoreboard the world keeps. Likes, followers, awards, praise. None of it truly measures who you are. They measure how you appear, not how you live. But the Stoic doesn't live by the world's scoreboard. He keeps his own, quietly, invisibly, daily. It's called the virtue ledger. Here's how it works. At the end of each day, sit down with yourself, no noise, no distractions, and ask, did I live my values today? Not, was I productive? Not, did I impress anyone? But something deeper, something internal. Ask yourself, was I honest today, even when it would have been easier to lie? Was I disciplined, or did I let comfort take over? Did I act with courage, or did I play it safe? Did I show patience, especially when no one would have blamed me for snapping? Pick your virtues, Write them down if you need to. But don't share them. This is not a post. It's not a journal entry you plan to show someone. It's your private audit, for your eyes only. And rate yourself, not on outcome, but on effort. Maybe you didn't succeed at everything today. That's fine. That's human. But did you try to stay true? Did you catch yourself before reacting in anger? Did you apologize when you knew you were wrong? Did you walk away when gossip pulled you in? Did you show restraint when ego tried to speak? That's what matters. This private ledger becomes your new scoreboard, one that can't be seen, can't be judged, and can't be manipulated by the world. Only you know if you're winning. Only you know if you're getting stronger where it matters most. And here's the strange thing. The more you focus on this internal alignment, the more others will begin to notice something about you. They won't be able to explain it, but they'll feel it. The way you hold yourself, the way you listen, the way you walk away from drama, the way you speak calmly when others shout. They'll admire it, not because you asked for it, but because real integrity has gravity. You don't need to advertise it. It's felt. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, not to the public. His meditations weren't a book. They were a virtue ledger, a daily audit of how well he was living according to his principles. As Emperor of Rome, he could have lived for image, but instead, he lived for alignment. You can too. So tonight, before the day ends, begin your own ledger. Choose your virtues. Reflect in silence. Don't score yourself like a critic. Observe like a craftsman. Are you becoming who you said you'd be? Because admiration doesn't come from perfection. It comes from consistency. And character doesn't get built by accident. It gets built on purpose. One day at a time. One silent rating at a time. And the only person you need to impress is the one looking back at you in the mirror when no one else is around. Number 11. See public praise as borrowed currency. Think of every compliment like money that isn't really yours. It feels good to hold it. It gives you a rush, a boost, a sense of importance. But here's the catch. It's a loan. And loans come with strings. Every time you depend on public praise, you're borrowing confidence, borrowing motivation, borrowing identity. And just like debt, it always needs to be paid back, sometimes with interest. The likes slow down. You start doubting yourself. Someone else gets more attention. You feel behind. The crowd moves on. You question your worth. This is what happens when your self-respect is tied to the world's reaction. One day you're rich in praise, the next you're bankrupt in silence. The Stoic doesn't build like that. He doesn't live on borrowed currency. He invests in what cannot be taken. Effort, wisdom, consistency. These are the real assets. They grow quietly, slowly, privately, but they never crash. They never expire. They never depend on someone else's mood, algorithm, or attention span. Admiration built on applause is like a house made of glass. Beautiful from the outside, but one hard truth, and it shatters. Admiration built on invisible discipline, repeated daily without a stage? That's stone. That's foundation. So ask yourself, what are you building on? Are you living for the next well done, the next reaction, the next time someone notices? Or are you showing up when no one claps, putting in the reps when no one is looking, staying true to your path when the lights are off? The Stoic's legacy is not performance, it's presence, it's consistency. It's a kind of strength that doesn't spike with compliments or crash with criticism. It just is. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire, but he reminded himself daily, fame after life is no better than oblivion. He didn't write his reflections for praise. He wrote them to stay centered. You can do the same. So the next time praise comes, accept it, appreciate it, but don't rely on it. Don't build your soul around it. Let it pass through like a breeze through an open window. Because the minute you treat it like a paycheck, you'll start performing for it. And that's when the real cost begins. Your peace, your clarity, your freedom. So choose the path of quiet wealth. Invest in showing up. Invest in stillness. Invest in becoming unshakable. And when the world asks how you built such calm power, you won't have to explain. You'll just keep walking, paid in full. Number 12. Use admiration inversion. Most people spend their lives asking the wrong question. How can I be admired? They chase it. They polish their image. They rehearse their words. They measure their actions by one filter, how it looks. But the Stoic flips the question entirely. Instead of asking how to be admired, ask, what kind of person would I admire if I met them? This is the moment everything changes. Think about it for a second. Not who impresses the crowd, not who has status, charm, or the loudest voice, but who moves you deeply. It's not the ones who beg for attention. It's the ones who don't need it. It's not the ones who shout their success. It's the ones who carry calm in chaos. It's not the ones who perform. It's the ones who are anchored. Maybe it's someone who speaks less, but means more. Maybe it's someone who stays kind when it's hard. Maybe it's someone who holds the line, not because it's easy, but because it's right. You admire these people not because they're loud, but because they're clear. Clear in who they are, clear in what they stand for, clear in how they carry themselves. That's the inversion. Instead of working on being admired, you work on becoming admirable, quietly, from the inside out. No audience required. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing admiration, it begins to find you. Because the world is full of noise, performance, filters. But real character? That's rare. And what's rare becomes valuable. When you walk into a room without needing to prove anything, people notice. When you stay grounded while others scramble, people listen. When your actions don't shift with public opinion, people respect you, even if they don't say it out loud. The Stoic doesn't try to be impressive. He tries to be honest. He doesn't seek applause. He seeks alignment. Marcus Aurelius never asked, "How can I be admired as emperor?" He asked, "How do I stay just, disciplined, and humble while ruling Rome?" That's the kind of person history admires centuries later. So sit with this. Who would you admire? Write it down. Not titles or results, traits, behavior, presence. Then become that, bit by bit, quietly, patiently. And when the urge comes to impress, pause, flip the question. Am I becoming the kind of person I would admire? If yes, keep going. If not, adjust. Because admiration isn't earned by trying to be seen. It's earned by being so rooted in truth that people can't help but feel it. Don't chase the mirror. Become the reflection you're looking for. That's the inversion. And that's where greatness begins. Number 13. Abandon the performance self. There are two versions of most people walking through life. The one they really are, and the one they perform. The performance self is subtle. It's not always fake, but it's always filtered. It scans the room, reads the mood, shapes its tone. It tweaks opinions slightly to fit in. It hides edges to be smoother. It tells half-truths to stay likable. It smiles on cue. It pauses when it should speak. It performs, not for art, but for approval. and it's exhausting. The Stoic sees this clearly. He knows that every time you wear the performance mask, you lose a little of yourself. You train your mind to believe that who you are isn't enough unless it's edited, polished, palatable. But real self-worth doesn't perform. It just exists. It doesn't shift with the crowd. It doesn't change outfits depending on the audience. It doesn't trade authenticity for applause. The Stoic doesn't bend to be liked. He stands to be true. And yes, sometimes that truth is quiet. Sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes it's misunderstood. But it's always solid, always rooted, always yours. So here's the challenge. Kill the performance self. Start noticing where it shows up. The extra laugh that didn't feel real, the opinion you watered down to avoid conflict, the silence you kept so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable, the clever story you told, not because it was true, but because it made you look better. All of that is performance. It's not evil, but it's not freedom. The Stoic path is about reclaiming that freedom, piece by piece, moment by moment. So start walking differently. Speak plainly, even if it doesn't impress. Walk directly, even if it makes others uneasy. Be consistent, even when it's not convenient. The more you show up as your true self, the more powerful you become, because people around you will begin to feel something rare: clarity. They may not understand it, they may not even like it at first, but they'll feel it. Your refusal to bend will make others sit with their own masks. Your quiet truth will expose the noise, and over time, people won't just hear what you say, they'll feel who you are. And that feeling, that's what they'll admire. Not because you tried, but because you stopped trying. Marcus Aurelius never performed for the crowd. He didn't adjust his soul for popularity. He didn't rewrite his values for applause. He stood firm, even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. That's the model. Be so rooted in who you are that performance becomes impossible. When someone asks for your thoughts, give them clearly. When the world pushes you to soften your truth, hold the line. When silence feels like compromise, speak. Not to impress, not to be different, but because truth, unfiltered, is the most powerful version of you. And here's the beauty. When you stop performing, you stop pretending. And when you stop pretending, you start living. Number 14. Build a code that cannot be rewritten by applause. Most people don't chase approval because they're weak. They chase it because they're unanchored. They don't have a clear code. They don't have principles etched deep enough to withstand pressure. So, when the crowd claps, they shift. When the wind changes, they move. When the trend flips, they flip with it. Their identity isn't built, it's borrowed. And the moment someone disapproves, it cracks, because it was never rooted in anything real. But the Stoic doesn't borrow values, he builds them, carves them, and once they're written, he doesn't erase them for applause. He writes his code in stone. This is your next challenge. Decide what you stand for before the crowd tells you who to be. Don't wait until the pressure comes. Don't wait until you're tempted. Don't wait until you're cornered. Write your principles clearly. Know your virtues like your own name. Write them not on paper, but in the way you move, speak, decide, and live. Because when you're unclear on your code, the world will offer you one, and it's always changing. It tells you what's admirable today and something else tomorrow. It rewards you when you comply. It cancels you when you don't. That's the storm, the noise, the weather. But Stoicism teaches you to be the mountain, solid, still, immovable. When you have a code that can't be rewritten, you don't need approval. You don't fear disapproval. You don't second-guess your decisions every time someone frowns. You move forward with peace. Because your compass doesn't point to applause, it points to truth. Marcus Aurelius ruled with unshakable values: justice, discipline, wisdom, courage. He didn't rewrite those based on who praised or criticized him. He followed them when it was easy, and especially when it was not. That's your model. So start now. Define your code. Ask yourself, what are 5 things I stand for, no matter what? What values guide me even when no one's watching? What principles do I follow even when they cost me something? Etch those into your life. Live them in silence. Hold them in pressure. Speak them without flinching. And protect them, especially when applause tries to soften them. Because once your code is clear, the crowd loses its grip. You no longer rise and fall with public opinion. You no longer shape-shift just to fit in. You no longer fear being misunderstood. You become a presence, rooted, unbothered, free. Admiration? That becomes irrelevant, because you're no longer performing, you're standing, and nothing bends the mountain. Number 15. Let stillness be your billboard. In today's world, everyone's trying to be seen, to be heard, to be recognized. They post, they promote, they announce every move. Look at me, they say, through words, through pictures, through noise. But here's what the Stoic knows. The more real your growth is, the less you need to talk about it. Stillness becomes your billboard. You don't need to explain your peace. You don't need to advertise your evolution. You don't need to broadcast your discipline, your wisdom, your quiet victories. Let your silence speak. Let the calm in your presence say everything. Let your eyes say, I don't flinch. Let the way you carry yourself whisper, I don't seek, I build. Because here's the truth most people miss. Real admiration is never loud. It's not in the applause. It's in the pause. In the moments when people notice something different about you, but can't quite explain it. That's what stillness creates. Stillness is power. Stillness is depth. Stillness is the kind of confidence that doesn't need confirmation. The Stoic doesn't walk into a room to be the loudest voice. He becomes the quiet center, the anchor, the calm in the chaos, the presence that reminds others what grounded feels like. And the world, no matter how loud it gets, notices. Because real growth isn't flashy. It doesn't need decoration. It just is. Marcus Aurelius wasn't admired because he made speeches about his character. He was admired because of how he ruled, how he reflected, how he stayed silent when others lashed out, how he stayed centered in storms. So here's your challenge. Stop announcing your progress. Don't tell people you're focused. Be focused. Don't say you're leveling up. Level up quietly. Don't declare your strength. Walk through difficulty without collapse. And let people feel the shift, not hear about it. Stillness is a statement. In a world loud with ambition, those who stop shouting become magnetic. Those who stop chasing attention start drawing it. So make this your billboard. Peace, discipline, unshakable calm. Let that be your message. Let that be your brand. Let that be the thing they can't stop thinking about, even if they can't explain why. Because when the trying ends, the becoming begins. And those who walk the Stoic path don't rise by shouting louder. They rise by needing less. And in the end, it's not the noise that's remembered. It's the stillness that stood unmoved. Have you ever felt like the universe is either working with you or completely against you? Imagine for a moment, What if I told you that the difference lies entirely in how you align your thoughts and emotions? Welcome, because in today's video, we're going to explore how Stoic philosophy and the law of attraction can genuinely transform your life. Yes, you heard that right. This ancient philosophy has more to do with what you attract into your life than you might think. Your thoughts are like a powerful magnet, drawing to you either your deepest desires or your darkest fears. If you constantly dwell in negativity, then it shouldn't surprise you when life fails to meet your expectations. But the moment you begin to shift your focus toward the positive, you'll notice how everything around you starts to work in your favor. It's not some mystical trick. It's both grounded science and time-tested wisdom. Stoicism teaches us a vital truth. While we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. So the question is, are you ready to become the creator of your destiny? Because it all starts right here, in your mind. Together, let's discover 11 timeless principles that can help you attract what you truly desire. Make sure you stick around from the very beginning, because what we're about to explore could be the shift you've been looking for. Before we dive in, if these kinds of videos bring value to your life, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon so you never miss a lesson, some of which could change everything for you. Let's begin with one of the most fundamental ideas, the relationship between thoughts and emotions. Have you ever considered how your inner world, your thoughts and feelings, acts like a magnet, constantly shaping your outer reality? You might think that's just another overused self-help phrase, but let's look at it through a more grounded, even ironic perspective. According to Stoic teachings, the key to achieving inner peace lies in mastering how we interpret events and react to them, not in changing the world itself. Now, before you assume this is going to be a dusty lecture on old philosophy, let me show you just how relevant this idea is to your everyday life. Imagine you're in a grocery store, choosing between a box of nutritious cereal and a bag of chips. Most of us end up going for the chips, secretly hoping it won't show up on the scale. But here's the twist. Your thoughts are like your shopping cart. If you keep loading your mind with negative, unhelpful thoughts, it's like stuffing that cart with junk food. The result? A life weighed down by stress and drained of joy. Let's make it even more tangible. Suppose you constantly worry about losing your job. Instead of focusing on improving your skills or staying optimistic, you create an emotional atmosphere that practically invites misfortune. It's almost as if the universe says, "Oh, you're expecting the worst? Okay, let's make it happen." Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that simply imagining a beachfront mansion will make one appear out of thin air, complete with champagne on ice. The law of attraction isn't about fantasy. It's about aligning your focus and actions with what you truly desire. Think of your thoughts and emotions as the GPS system of your life. When you keep your destination in sight and stay on course, you're far more likely to get where you want to go. But if you're constantly switching directions, don't be surprised when you end up stuck in the roundabout of disappointment. To apply this principle, begin by paying attention to your internal patterns. Are you more often cruising down the highway of complaints or walking the path of gratitude? Awareness of your mental habits is the first step toward real change. When negative thinking takes over, make a conscious shift. Instead of dwelling on what might go wrong, ask yourself what you can do to make things better. If you're worried about your weight, for instance, don't just despair over the extra pounds. Instead, focus on how to embrace healthier habits that will bring you closer to your goals. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we can't control every detail of our external world, We can control where we place our mental and emotional energy. So next time you catch yourself stuck in a spiral of negative thinking, remember, those thoughts are magnets and they're pulling real experiences into your life. Make the decision to plant better mental seeds, thoughts of hope, intention, and resilience, so you can eventually harvest a more fulfilling reality. As Carl Jung said, our thoughts and emotions are the brushes with which we paint our future. Let's shift to another key idea, focusing on your desires. Think about this. Have you ever tried lighting a fire with a pile of damp wood? It's a frustrating process. You want to feel that warm blaze, but all you get is smoke and ashes. That's exactly how it works when your desires are unclear or poorly focused. The firewood symbolizes your aspirations, and the law of attraction is the flame you hope to ignite. Without dry, well-arranged wood, meaning specific, organized intentions, your fire won't catch. Your dreams will suffocate under the weight of confusion. We all have dreams. Maybe a new job, a loving partner, or a healthier body. But if your intentions are as vague as, "I just want a better life," then you're setting yourself up for frustration. The law of attraction, despite its mystical aura, actually demands precision. Clarity is the missing ingredient that turns wishful thinking into practical reality. Here's a real-world example. Let's say you want a new job. If all you say is, "I need a job," you might attract anything from selling insurance door to door to stocking shelves at a grocery store. But if you get clear, let's say you want a position in digital marketing at a company with flexible hours and a positive culture, then your mental picture becomes a detailed map that guides you straight to what you're really looking for. The same goes for relationships. Saying, "I want someone," is as vague as saying you'd like to win the lottery without buying a ticket. But when you visualize someone who shares your passions, someone who loves music, makes you laugh, and aligns with your values, you start painting a much clearer, more attainable picture. And when it comes to weight loss or personal health, again, vague goals don't cut it. Wanting to lose weight is a start, but not enough. If you say, "I want to lose 5 kilograms in the next 3 months and feel more toned," you're turning a blurry hope into a strategy. So, how do you put this into action? Start by reflecting on what you truly want. Write it down. Be specific. Then visualize your goal with the same emotional intensity you'd feel if it had already happened. This isn't just about wanting. It's about truly believing and emotionally experiencing the outcome in advance. That emotional clarity is what fuels the law of attraction. Without it, you're basically waiting for a fire to start on its own without the right setup. But when you organize your mental firewood, the universe is far more likely to respond with that warm, focused flame of opportunity. As Einstein once said, the universe responds with the same level of clarity and precision that we use when speaking to it. Now let's talk about belief and faith. Ever feel like your dreams are as far off as a trip to Mars, except you're riding a cardboard rocket? Here's why. Belief and faith are the fuel for the engine that drives your desires. Without them, you're left with a stalled vehicle and no destination in sight. Let's unpack this. Think of your dream as a plant. That plant needs the water of belief to grow. Without faith, it dries up and dies. The law of attraction isn't just about imagining outcomes. It's about fueling those visions with deep-rooted trust. If you don't believe in your dreams, it's like trying to fly a plane without gas. Take a moment and reflect. If you don't even think it's possible to win, why would the universe play along? If deep down you believe success is out of reach, then everything you do will unconsciously reflect that doubt. You might sabotage your progress or miss out on opportunities simply because you didn't think you were worthy of them in the first place. So, before you wish for something, ask yourself, do you actually believe it's possible? Because belief isn't just a passive feeling, it's the energy that drives action. And without it, even the most beautiful dream becomes just another forgotten hope. Playing the lottery is like hoping the moon will shine like the sun. At night, it's a shot in the dark. And if you've stopped believing in true love, it's like searching for a needle in a haystack while blindfolded. The truth is, nothing slows down your dreams more than a lack of faith. Now you might be asking, how on earth do I shift these limiting beliefs into empowering ones? The good news is, you don't need a magic spell to do it. Instead, begin by collecting proof that your dreams can be real. Find stories of people who have achieved what you're striving for. It's not about copying them, it's about realizing that your dream isn't as out of reach as you once thought. Picture true love as a hidden gem, a diamond in the rough. When you see others discover it, you're inspired to keep looking with renewed hope. Surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams, even if it means editing your contact list. Because when you're constantly around people who think your ambitions are foolish, you'll eventually start doubting yourself too, like a vacuum cleaner trying to work in the desert. But if you spend time with positive, supportive people, it's like sailing a boat with the wind at your back. Their encouragement will push you forward, and never underestimate the power of your mindset. Life can often feel like a gauntlet of challenges, but a hopeful perspective can transform those hurdles into stepping stones. Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept what we can't control and focus on what we can, our response. Face challenges with dignity and turn doubt into determination. You're the hero in this epic story, and the villain, doubt, can be defeated with the sword of faith. Ultimately, your beliefs and your trust in yourself are the keys to unlocking your dreams. Not believing in yourself is like trying to force open a locked door when the key is lying just under the rug. So start believing. Seek out proof that your goals are possible. Surround yourself with encouragement. Maintain your hope. And you might be surprised how close you already are to the life you want. As Gandhi once said, faith is the first step toward any destination, while doubt is the first step toward standing still. Now, let's talk about something small yet powerful: gratitude and appreciation. These two words seem to be trending everywhere in the self-help and modern wisdom space. But have you ever stopped to wonder why they're so emphasized? It's almost as if the universe is whispering, "Be grateful and you'll receive everything." Okay, maybe not everything, but certainly more of what truly matters. Let's break it down. Saying thank you might sound simple, like a polite good morning or asking someone to pass the salt. But when you mean it, when it's heartfelt, you tap into something magical. Imagine you're at a restaurant. You can either be the grumpy customer who complains that the bread is cold, or the one who smiles and thanks the waiter for their service. Which customer do you think gets better treatment? The first might keep getting cold bread and bad vibes, but the second might be surprised with a special recommendation, or even a free dessert. That's the essence of the law of attraction. Positive energy brings more positive experiences. Practicing gratitude is like turning yourself into a magnet for good things. Picture your life as a house under construction. If all you do is gripe about the leaks and the crooked walls, then the workers, symbolizing the universe, won't be too motivated to keep building. But if you express appreciation for the small progress, you're signaling that their effort is valued. That encouragement inspires more support from the universe instead of resistance. And here's the best part. You don't need any spells or rituals to bring this into your life. Just a bit of consistency. Set aside a few minutes each day to reflect on what you have to be thankful for. It doesn't need to be anything earth-shattering. It could be the warmth of sunlight on your skin or the aroma of fresh coffee in the morning. Those little moments matter deeply. Keep a gratitude journal. It might sound like a cliché, but it works like a treasure map. Instead of gold, you discover the blessings already present in your life. Write down at least 3 specific things you're grateful for every day. Not just, I'm grateful for my family, but more like, I'm grateful for my family's unwavering love and support. That level of detail transforms your gratitude into something tangible. And here's a tip for those tough days when everything seems to go wrong. Find something, even the smallest thing, to be thankful for. Maybe you can't appreciate the rain, but you can be grateful for the roof over your head. Gratitude is your flashlight in the dark, revealing glimmers of hope when everything feels gloomy. Gratitude isn't just a nice word. It's a real force. When you focus on what you have and genuinely appreciate it, you raise your vibration and invite more good into your life. So the next time you feel stuck in a loop of complaints, remember that whatever you appreciate multiplies. As Marcus Aurelius said in Meditations, if you can't be thankful for what you have, you'll never be satisfied with what you receive. Now, let's dive into another big one. Inspired action. The law of attraction has a way of painting a dreamy picture. Just think happy thoughts, and life will magically align. Sounds amazing, right? But then reality hits. You've been visualizing your dream life, but somehow your couch and your go-to pizza delivery still seem to be your closest companions. Let's be honest, there's no magic wand here. The real secret is inspired action. But what does that actually mean? Think of the law of attraction as a vending machine. You can insert all the coins, positive thoughts, you want, and press the button for your desire. But if you don't actually select the right product, or worse, never press the button, you'll just stand there, disappointed. Inspired action is that decisive press. It's the moment you stop just wishing and start doing. Let's bring it back to earth. You're not going to land your dream job by lounging at home, sipping coffee, and waiting for a call from your dream boss. If you want that job, you'll need to send out resumes, network, go to interviews. Inspired action isn't some cute idea. It's the engine that propels you toward your goals. Want new love? Daydreaming about it won't do much unless you actually put yourself out there. You've got to meet people and put in effort. Surprise. So, how can you make this work in your life? Start by taking small but steady actions in the direction of your goals. These tiny steps are like the bricks that form the road to your dreams. Don't expect instant results. Sometimes patience is just as important as effort. Trust your gut. What excites you? What stirs something in your soul? Listen to that inner nudge. It's guiding you. Inspired action is about moving with intention, not just obligation. And remember, don't give up. While patience is crucial, persistence is the glue that holds your vision together. Success doesn't always show up overnight, but every effort you make brings you closer to what you want. The Stoics understood this. They knew that strength of character and perseverance were key ingredients for reaching any meaningful goal. So, the next time someone talks about manifesting dreams, remember that it's not just about imagining a better life. It's about moving toward it. Inspired action is the bridge that connects your desires to your reality. If you want to see real change, You have to stop dreaming with your eyes closed and start showing up for yourself. It's not rocket science, just a little consistency, a bit of passion, and yes, plenty of patience. And now, we arrive at a hidden villain on your journey: self-sabotage. Have you ever felt like your biggest obstacle is you? Not in some dramatic movie scene where you're trapped in a dark alley facing your reflection, but in a quieter, sneakier way. Self-sabotage isn't flashy, it's subtle, but it's just as dangerous. It's like a tiny voice in your mind, a whisper from the shadows that convinces you you're not enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not ready. And the worst part? Most of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. Self-sabotage is that invisible mouse nibbling away at the corners of your dreams. You think you're avoiding failure, but you're actually building walls between yourself and everything you truly want. Yes, we're all guilty of it, more than we'd like to admit. But here's the truth. Once you can spot it, you can stop it. And that's where change begins. The idea that happiness is meant for others, or that success is some kind of luxury that only a few lucky souls can enjoy, is one of the biggest lies we quietly carry. As if that weren't enough, there's often a little voice inside us, one that poses as a director of our inner tragedy, guiding us away from our goals and dreams at every step. But what if I told you that this isn't the final script, that you have the power to rewrite the whole story? The first move is awareness. Pay attention to those negative thoughts and deep-seated beliefs that sneak through your mind like thieves in the night. It's like unknowingly living with a trusted burglar in your home. If you don't notice it, it will steal the most precious things from you: your peace, your confidence, your joy. This is where Stoic philosophy comes in. With its focus on self-discipline and emotional control, the Stoics teach us that the path to a fulfilling life begins with mastering oneself. So, if your thoughts are a mess, why not bring in some Stoic order? The next step is to consciously replace those harmful, destructive thoughts with new ones that are positive, empowering, and life-giving. Think of your thoughts as gardeners. If you keep planting seeds of doubt and fear, your inner garden will bloom with insecurity. But if you plant seeds of hope, trust, and confidence, your mind will grow a lush, beautiful garden of success and satisfaction. This isn't a quick fix. It takes time and effort. But every positive thought you nurture is one more step forward, not backward. Then there's the task of rebuilding your self-esteem and belief in yourself. You're not borrowing someone else's confidence, you're constructing your own. Self-worth isn't something gifted to you, it's something you create. So whenever that inner voice tells you that you're not worthy of happiness or success, remember, real success begins in your thoughts. Shifting your mindset might take mental energy, but here's the empowering truth. You have the ability to rewrite your own story. The law of attraction can't do much if you're caught in a cycle of self-sabotage. But the moment you begin breaking those internal chains, your whole world shifts. In the end, freeing yourself from self-sabotage is like steering a ship that's wandered into dangerous waters. You're not changing the ocean, you're just setting a new course. So, if you've been unknowingly sabotaging yourself, your new path starts now. As Oscar Wilde once said, "Change your thoughts and you change your destiny." Now, let's dive into something that might sound a bit mystical at first: vibrations and energy. Have you ever thought of yourself as a human speaker, constantly emitting vibrations into the universe? It might sound like science fiction, But hang on a moment. According to the law of attraction, everything in the universe, from the stars in the sky to the tiniest grain of sand, is energy. And you, my friend, are no exception. You are a pulsing, vibrant sea of energy, and the frequency you emit has a way of attracting matching experiences. Picture this. You're like a giant speaker, continuously sending out a vibrational tune. When you're filled with joy, love, and gratitude, you emit a kind of melody that resonates beautifully with the universe. In response, the universe echoes those vibes back to you, like a cosmic boomerang that brings back even more reasons to smile. Of course, life isn't always sunshine and good vibes. There are days when all you want is to hide in your pajamas, binge-watch your favorite series, and let your inner critic do the talking. It happens. But here's the trick. When you sink into sadness or negative thinking, your energetic signal becomes dull and dissonant, like background elevator music. And oddly enough, the universe picks up on that too and mirrors it back with more of the same. So, how do you become the DJ of your own frequency? How do you send out music that the universe wants to dance to? Start by surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. If your friends sound more like a chorus of complaints than a joyful band, it might be time to look for new collaborators. Energy is contagious, good or bad. Being in the company of uplifting souls can do wonders for your spirit. Also, give yourself permission to enjoy life. It could be something as simple as basking in the morning sun, or savoring a quiet cup of coffee while reading a book that warms your heart. These small acts of joy raise your vibration faster than any motivational speech ever could. And never underestimate the power of stillness, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or yoga. These moments of calm help tune your frequency to align with the universe's best rhythms. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we can't control everything around us, we can always control how we respond. So instead of letting life's chaos hijack your energy, choose to keep your vibrations high. Being a high vibration emitter isn't just a feel-good idea. It's a way of living with greater meaning and satisfaction. Sure, the universe won't always answer with a smile, but maintaining a positive frequency can make the ride much smoother. Remember this, what you send out is what you attract. So play the kind of music you want to hear back. Now, let's face something we all know too well, but rarely want to acknowledge: resistance. No, not the gym kind that promises toned muscles. We're talking about the invisible mental resistance that blocks your path, making you trip over your own doubts and fears. This resistance is often the biggest obstacle when trying to work with the law of attraction. It's like using a GPS that leads you away from where you truly want to go. And shockingly, you're the one programming the route. Imagine being out at sea, with a boat full of potential and dreams. You should be sailing freely, but instead you're battling the waves you've created yourself. These waves? They're made of fear, doubt, and negative thinking. You're stirring up a storm just when you need calm waters to move forward. Let's say you want to start something new, a business, a creative project, a fresh chapter in life. But instead of envisioning success, you get caught up in the fear of failing. It's like tying a mental anchor to yourself that keeps you from moving. Or maybe you're clinging tightly to something you already have, afraid that opening yourself to more might mean losing what little is yours now. But that fear only pulls you down deeper. So how do you free yourself from resistance? The first step is awareness. You can't overcome what you don't acknowledge. It's like trying to fix a car without understanding what's broken. Pause and look within. What's holding you back? Is it fear of failure? Fear of loss? A lack of belief in yourself? Once you've identified your resistance, don't fight it. Let it drift away. Picture your negative thoughts as leaves floating down a river. You don't need to grab them. Let them pass by while you stay focused on what truly matters. Turn your attention to your desires, your goals, your dreams. That's how you steer your boat toward peaceful waters. The Stoics teach us that while we can't control everything, we can always choose our behavior and response. Similarly, in the context of the law of attraction, the only real power you hold is over your own thoughts and emotions. So instead of fighting change, flow with it. Instead of fearing failure, open up to success. Resistance is like a silent thief that drains your energy and delays your progress. To attract what you desire, you must drop the anchors of fear and doubt. Acknowledge them, release them, and return your focus to your vision. In doing so, you're not just practicing the law of attraction, you're embracing a Stoic way of life. Take it from someone who's lived this truth. Where there is resistance, your desires become a struggle. But where there is flow, success begins to feel like destiny. Now, let's talk about something we all feel but struggle to master: time and patience. Time, this strange, invisible force, pushes us forward and pulls at our anxiety all at once. We all know deep down that there's no fast-forward button in life, even if we sometimes wish there was. But instead of surrendering to the pressure of the ticking clock, what if we learned to move in harmony with its rhythm? Let's take a moment to understand patience, not as resignation, but as a kind of quiet strength that moves with time rather than against it. Why not learn to move gracefully to the rhythm that life sets? Let's talk about patience, that virtue we all admire from afar, but struggle to truly embody in our daily lives. Think of your dreams and goals as seeds you've planted. If you try to force their growth by drowning them in too much fertilizer, you'll only end up with a fragile, stressed-out plant. Patience, on the other hand, is the natural nourishment that allows that plant to thrive, strong and full of life. Start by being consistent in your actions. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes a powerful ally. The Stoics remind us that our true power lies in how we respond, not in the immediate outcomes we see. You can do everything right: water your plant, place it in the sun, tend to it lovingly, but if you don't give it the time it needs, it won't bear fruit. So focus on your daily care, give it light, nurture it, and then release the need to stare at it every second, anxiously waiting for the first sprout to emerge. Don't fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. Every plant has its own rhythm and time to bloom. Comparing your little sapling to a towering oak is both unfair and disheartening. It only breeds frustration. Instead, take pride in your own garden. Celebrate every small sign of growth, every sprout that pushes through the soil. Those little moments deserve to be honored. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a meaningful victory. Never underestimate the importance of these small wins, because they are the building blocks of greater success. Think of them as tiny drops of water forming a river. At first, it may not look like much, but over time, that steady flow becomes an unstoppable current. When it comes to the law of attraction, it's true that our thoughts can magnetize the things we desire. But let's not forget that action plays a critical role. The real magic happens when a positive mindset is paired with consistent effort. So go ahead, dream big, but make sure your actions reflect the same level of intention and patience. Time is not your adversary, it's your partner, as long as you're willing to work in harmony with it. Patience doesn't mean waiting passively. It means staying active, staying committed, even when the results aren't immediately visible. It's about trusting the journey, celebrating your progress, and refusing to measure your worth by how fast you get there. In the end, the journey itself holds more meaning than the speed of the destination. There's a Stoic proverb that perfectly captures this. Patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while you wait. Now let's talk about alignment with the universe. Have you ever felt like the universe is working against you? Maybe your morning started with spilled coffee, then you got stuck in soul-crushing traffic, and just when you thought things couldn't get worse, you realized you left your umbrella behind right as the skies opened up. If that sounds familiar, you might be out of sync with the universe. But don't worry, you're not alone in this cosmic dance. And the good news is, it's something you can realign. Picture your life as a symphony, with the universe acting as the conductor. If you want your melody to be in harmony, you need to be in tune with the maestro. That means trusting that, in its infinite wisdom, the universe is orchestrating everything in your favor, even when your cat spills your documents or your Wi-Fi takes an unexpected break. Everything is unfolding at just the right moment, whether it feels like it or not. So how do you tune yourself back to the universe's rhythm? Start with something simple. Reconnect with nature. Take a walk in the park. Breathe in the fresh air. Watch how the leaves dance with the breeze. It's the universe whispering in your ear, reminding you that you're part of something much larger. You don't need to be a philosopher to appreciate the beauty of the world. You just need to be present enough to notice it. Another powerful way to align with yourself and the universe is through meditation or yoga. Think of these quiet practices as sacred spaces where you can hear the soft hum of the cosmos. Meditation helps you access that inner peace that feels so elusive when daily life is spinning with chaos. Yoga, meanwhile, stretches more than your muscles. It stretches your perspective. Both are like tuning your instrument before the big concert, ensuring that every part of you is in harmony with the larger performance. And finally, never underestimate the power of gratitude. Being thankful for what you already have is like saying to the universe, "Yes, I'm in sync with your frequency." Whether it's your cozy bed, a good friend, or a moment of peace, when you appreciate the little things, you open the door to greater abundance. It's as if you're sending out a signal that says, "I'm ready for more." So go ahead, invite the universe to surprise you. Stoic wisdom fits seamlessly here. Their teachings on accepting what we can't control and focusing on how we respond help guide us toward inner peace. Alignment with the universe doesn't require a Stoic badge of honor, but their philosophy can be a valuable compass. It's all about living in accordance with the natural order, not fighting against it. Realigning your life with the universe doesn't have to be complicated. Spend time in nature, find stillness through meditation, practice gratitude, and above all, trust the cosmic flow. Stop resisting the current and begin to move with it. The universe is not an adversary to defeat, but a dance partner inviting you to join the rhythm of life. Keep this close to heart. The universe gives you exactly what you need when you are at peace within yourself. And if you've made it this far, drop a comment that says, "I am what I think." That way, I'll know you're one of the true champions who stayed till the end of this powerful lesson. Have you ever wished that someone would miss you deeply and long for you with all their heart? Well, relax, because today we're going to explore how you can make that happen. But I promise you, it won't be through desperate tactics. Instead, we're going to delve into the wisdom of Stoic philosophy combined with solid psychological principles. In this video, I'll share with you 14 foolproof tips that will help make the person you desire miss you and ultimately become obsessed with you. And at the end, I'll reveal the key strategies that can make all this a reality. So don't worry, stay tuned. Each tip might just hold the secret to achieving what you want. I've put together a collection of real, proven psychological studies, and when combined with Stoic philosophy, these will become your greatest tools of attraction. So much so that you will transform into the treasure everyone longs for. Rather than bombarding that special person with constant texts and attention, you'll learn to create an aura of scarcity, becoming that precious gem hidden behind a treasure hunt. Give yourself the importance you deserve because, my friend, there's nothing more vital in any relationship than valuing oneself. But before we begin, if you find value in these videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you stay updated. Are you ready? Let's get started. First, let's talk about the importance of prioritizing personal encounters. We live in an age where our phones have become extensions of our hands. They help us stay connected, organized, and, at times, entertained. However, what happens when this little device starts to interfere with genuine human connections? Today, I want to discuss why prioritizing in-person interactions can make someone miss you and desire you more. Although it may seem like a Stoic philosophy concept, there's actually a great deal of ancient wisdom in this approach. Picture this. You're sitting at a coffee shop with a friend, and they're more focused on their phone than on engaging with you. It's like being invisible, isn't it? Now, flip the scenario. Imagine you're fully present, completely engaged in the conversation, free from distractions. The connection is deeper, more authentic, and when the time comes to part ways, that person will miss you, not because of anything extraordinary you said, but because you were genuine and fully present. The key is using your phone as a tool to organize these meetings, not to replace them. Of course, sending messages and making calls is helpful, but they should never become the core of our relationships. Human interactions are deeply rooted in our senses, smell, touch, and the shared laughter that can only occur in person. These are experiences that can't be replicated through a screen. If you want to make someone miss you and long for your presence, you need to be a bit like a hidden treasure, something valuable, not always available. By prioritizing face-to-face encounters, you're cultivating unique and memorable moments. A simple coffee, a walk together, a hug. These become meaningful experiences that leave a lasting impression. Think of it this way. Relationships are like plants. They need water, light, and, most importantly, time. Text messages are like tiny drops of water, enough to keep the plant alive, but not enough to help it bloom. Personal encounters, on the other hand, are like sunlight. Without them, the plant can never truly flourish. Supporting this idea, studies have shown that face-to-face interactions are crucial for mental health and happiness. For instance, Harvard University conducted a study that found that people who engage in regular personal encounters report higher levels of well-being and fewer feelings of loneliness. This happens because in-person interactions activate brain areas associated with reward and empathy, forging deeper emotional bonds. So the next time you're tempted to send a quick text, ask yourself, could this be done in person? If the answer is yes, go ahead and arrange a meeting, be it for coffee, a walk, or any activity that allows you to be genuinely present. And don't worry about always being available. Constant accessibility can lower your value. After all, what incentive does someone have to seek a deeper connection with you if you're always just a message away? Remember, sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder. Let them miss your real presence. Don't be the open book left on the coffee table, but the book tucked away on a high shelf, waiting to be rediscovered. In conclusion, prioritize personal encounters. Use your phone to organize these meetings, not to replace them. Be the sunlight in people's lives, not just a drop of water. True connections are made in person, and by doing this, you'll create lasting memories and deeper relationships. Moving on to emotional independence, have you ever thought about why some people seem to effortlessly attract others? The secret isn't some mysterious force of nature or a supernatural gift. It's emotional independence. This quality not only makes you more appealing, but it also leads to a more fulfilled and satisfying life. Imagine your life as a beautiful garden, full of flowers, fruit trees, and a small pond with fish. You are the gardener of this garden. If you rely on someone else to water your plants, fertilize the soil and remove the weeds, your garden will eventually wither. But if you tend to it with care and attention, it will flourish, drawing others in. Emotional independence isn't about being cold or distant. It's about having a full and exciting life of your own. It's about enjoying your hobbies, pursuing your goals, and being at peace with who you are. This way, when someone enters your life, you're not doing so from a place of need, but from a place of abundance. You're inviting them to a banquet you've already prepared, rather than waiting for the ingredients to show up. One of the foundational teachings of emotional independence comes from Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what lies beyond our reach. For instance, you can't control whether someone misses you or wants you, but you can control how you live your life, how you engage with activities you enjoy, and how you take care of yourself. If you want someone to long for you, the key is not to be constantly available, always texting or making plans. What keeps a viewer hooked in a thrilling movie is the intrigue and anticipation. Similarly, if you're always present, there's no chance for the person to miss you. But if you completely disappear from their view, there's a risk of being forgotten. It's all about striking a delicate balance, like a dance. To achieve this, nurture your own life. Enroll in that painting course you've always wanted to try, go for a morning run, dive into a book that excites you, and make time to enjoy your own company. Not only will this make you more interesting, but it will also give you a confidence and security that are utterly irresistible, like a subtle yet intoxicating fragrance that lingers after you. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that emotionally independent people tend to have healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Those with strong emotional autonomy are perceived as more attractive, and they experience less conflict and greater satisfaction in their relationships. Remember, emotional independence is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel vulnerable or needy, and that's okay. What matters is that you continue tending to your garden day after day with patience and care. Emotional independence is the key to a vibrant, fulfilling life and to attracting others from a place of abundance, not need. You are the gardener of your own life, and the more you flourish, the more others will be drawn to you. Always keep in mind this truth. A fulfilling life is built from within, not from the expectations of others. Lastly, let's touch on patience in love. We're often sold the idea of love at first sight, the excitement, the butterflies in our stomachs. But what happens when those butterflies turn into moths that consume our peace of mind? In this tip, I'm going to discuss something we should all practice more of: patience in love. Don't rush into love before you truly know the person. Yes, it might sound boring or even a little stoic, but trust me, it makes sense. Imagine you're at the supermarket. You walk directly to the fruit section and spot a shiny apple. Instantly, you feel excited, pick it up and purchase it without much thought. But when you get home and take that first bite, you discover that the inside is rotten. This is a perfect analogy for love. Often we get swept away by appearances and the emotions of the moment, forgetting the most crucial thing: really taking the time to get to know the person. Building a relationship is like constructing a house. It needs a solid foundation. And how do you create that foundation? It's not rocket science. You take the time to talk, to understand their values, dreams, and fears. A truly intimate connection doesn't develop overnight. It's a process, one that takes patience and care. Ask yourself if you share similar values and visions for the future, because these are the elements that will help the relationship withstand the inevitable storms that come. A study by Stanford University, led by psychologist Carol Dweck, highlights the power of a growth mindset in relationships. According to Dweck, people who approach relationships as a continuous process of growth and learning are more likely to experience success. This mindset encourages you to take the time to genuinely get to know the other person rather than rushing and expecting perfection from the start. Now, let's explore how to make someone miss you and want you. At first glance, this might seem manipulative, but in reality, it's about valuing yourself and establishing your own sense of worth. Think of it like morning coffee. It's more enjoyable when you don't drink it every day. In terms of love, this means maintaining your independence, pursuing your passions, and not becoming an extension of the other person. Give yourself and them space. Don't feel compelled to respond immediately to every message or be available around the clock. By doing so, you not only make the other person appreciate you more, but you also create space to reflect on whether this relationship is truly worth your time and emotional investment. It's not about playing mind games, but about striking a healthy balance. Constant availability can feel suffocating and lead you to be taken for granted. Think of yourself as a good book, one that deserves to be read carefully, not just skimmed. Patience in love is a virtue, one that many overlook, but it can make all the difference between a fleeting romance and a lasting bond. Getting to know someone well before falling in love and maintaining a healthy balance between presence and independence are essential elements in building a solid, intimate relationship. So the next time you feel those famous butterflies in your stomach, take a deep breath and remember that good things take time. As I've said before, true love isn't the kind that comes quickly. It's the one that remains when everyone else has gone. Now let's dive into the concept of the connection bubble. Imagine you're with a special person and suddenly the world around you fades away. The noise dies down and all that matters is the connection between the two of you. This is the connection bubble, a space that not only strengthens the relationship but also creates unforgettable moments that both of you will cherish. So how do you make someone miss you and desire your presence? The answer isn't a magic trick. It's a combination of authenticity and some practical approaches. First, be genuine. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of living authentically, staying true to our values. In a relationship, this means being yourself, without masks. Authenticity lays the groundwork for any meaningful connection. When you are genuine, you create space for the other person to be themselves too, which fosters a dynamic of trust and comfort. And you know what's more attractive than anything else? Confidence. The connection bubble isn't created overnight. It's like a dance. Imagine you're on the dance floor with your partner, moving to a rhythm that only the two of you can hear. To keep this dance going, you need to be in sync. This means paying attention to details, actively listening, and responding with empathy. When your partner feels heard and understood, the connection deepens. A study by psychologist John Gottman, an expert on relationships, underscores the importance of emotional attunement. Gottman found that couples who practice attunement, being emotionally present, listening actively, and responding empathetically, are far more likely to stay together. When you apply these principles, you create an environment where the other person feels valued and understood. But how do you get someone to miss you? This is where the balance between presence and absence comes into play. If you're always available, your presence may be taken for granted. Instead, by subtly withdrawing from time to time, you give the other person space to think about you and miss you. It's like tending to a plant. It needs water, but too much can drown it. You need to find the right balance for it to bloom. For instance, when you're in that connection bubble, make sure you're creating meaningful memories. It's not just about grand gestures, but also the small details, a spontaneous message, an inside joke, or a shared meaningful glance. These moments become emotional anchors that the other person will remember when you're not around. Stoic philosophy also teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. You can't force someone to miss you, but you can be the best version of yourself and create moments worth remembering. At the end of the day, what attracts people most is the quality of the connection they feel with you. To wrap things up, remember that the connection bubble is a sacred space that only the two of you can create. Be authentic, listen closely, and find the balance between being present and giving space. Doing this not only makes someone miss you and desire you, but it also helps build a relationship based on mutual understanding, love, and respect. In case you're not quite getting it, my friend, love is not about possession. It's about connection and shared freedom. The key is being genuine and creating meaningful moments that, while small, hold great significance. This connection bubble will become a safe refuge where they'll always want to return. Lastly, let's explore the power of silence. Have you ever considered just how powerful silence can be? In a world overflowing with noise and constant chatter, we often overlook the potential of what can be achieved through a simple look or a moment of quiet. Perhaps it's time to realize that you don't always need to speak. Sometimes just being there is enough. Think about this. Silence has an undeniable magic. Picture yourself in the middle of a heated conversation where words are flying like bullets. Instead of continuing to argue, you choose to remain silent, observing. That silence isn't empty, it's full of meaning. The exchanged glances in that moment can speak louder than 1,000 words. Now, let's apply this idea to the art of making someone miss you and want you. It may seem complicated at first, but it's simpler than you think if you incorporate a bit of Stoic philosophy and recognize that sometimes absence is far more powerful than constant presence. You've probably heard the phrase, "less is more," and in human relationships, this often holds true. Just like in a recipe where too much salt can ruin the dish, being too present can diminish your value in the other person's eyes. If you're strategically absent, your presence becomes something more precious, something to be savored and longed for. The trick is to create space for the other person to miss you, not by disappearing entirely, but by finding the right balance. Think of it like a musician who knows when to pause during a performance. These silences make the music richer and more exciting. In the same way, absence can build anticipation, creating a spark that makes someone realize how much they truly need you. A psychological study from the University of Virginia found that people tend to value interactions more when there is a time gap between them. Researchers discovered that even brief moments of absence can make people appreciate the relationship more. This phenomenon is known as the scarcity effect, where something becomes more valuable simply because it's not always available. So, how do you achieve this without seeming indifferent? The key lies in subtlety, in the power of looks and gestures. A single, intense glance can linger in someone's memory far longer than an entire conversation. A small gesture of affection, an unexpected detail, can be more effective than being present all the time. Strive to leave behind traces that are not easily seen, like the wind. Though invisible, its presence is felt and missed when there's no silence to reveal its absence. Simple communication is the key to connecting at a deeper level. Stoic philosophy teaches us to appreciate these moments, recognizing that presence is not always physical. Sometimes the most significant impact comes from what remains unspoken. Allow silence to work its magic, and you'll see how people begin to notice your absence and yearn for your presence. The next time you want someone to miss you and long for your company, remember that words aren't always necessary. Being present in silence can be enough. As Epictetus said, true power lies in the silence that speaks louder than any words. Authenticity plays a central role in how we connect with others. Have you ever felt like you're acting in life as though you're playing a part that doesn't fit you? Trying to be someone you're not? Adjusting your behavior and words to fit the desires of others can lead to a significant disconnect. Authenticity and honesty are the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Being genuine is not about being flawless, but about being yourself, embracing both your strengths and your flaws. Imagine being an open book, not one with empty pages where anyone can write their own narrative, but a book filled with adventures and even some darker chapters. Authenticity is about showing your book as it is, without embellishment or removing uncomfortable parts. When you allow yourself to be authentic, you let others truly get to know you and form a genuine connection. You are no longer playing a role or following a script. You are simply being yourself. Honesty is the glue that holds your authenticity together. There's no point in showing yourself as authentic if you are not also being honest with your feelings and thoughts. Honesty isn't just about avoiding lies, but about being transparent, saying what you really feel, even if it's uncomfortable. How do you make someone miss you and want your presence? There are no magic tricks or formulas. The key is to be authentic and honest. When you are transparent about who you are and how you feel, you forge a connection that transcends the superficial. Psychology backs this up. A Harvard study revealed that people who are seen as authentic and honest tend to form more valued and satisfying relationships. Think of authenticity as a recipe for a great dish. When you use quality ingredients and follow the process properly, the outcome is delicious. But if you rush or substitute with poor quality ingredients, the result will disappoint. Authenticity and honesty are the quality ingredients in any relationship. Of course, being authentic and honest doesn't mean being rude or insensitive. It's about striking a balance between expressing yourself and respecting the other person. If you wonder whether this works, the answer is yes. People are drawn to those who are genuine and unafraid to express their true selves. Their authenticity becomes a light that attracts others. So, next time you wish someone would miss you, remember, don't waste time pretending to be someone else. Be authentic, be honest, and watch how the magic unfolds. It's not about impressing others. It's about being truthful, and at the end of the day, people value sincerity above all. As Marcus Aurelius said, authenticity reflects the true beauty of a person. Avoiding seduction techniques is crucial to creating genuine connections. You've probably heard countless times about infallible techniques to win someone over. They promise that if you do this or that, the other person will be at your feet. But that's all a myth. Seduction techniques are like cheap paint on a wall. They might look attractive for a while, but over time, they fade and reveal the truth. If you want someone to miss you and desire your presence, start by being authentic. Stop pretending to be a character in a soap opera. Following pre-established seduction techniques is like wearing a Halloween costume. You might fool some people for a while, but eventually the facade will crack. Picture yourself on a first date, using rehearsed lines and behaving in a way that doesn't even feel like you. It may work temporarily, but who wants to be with someone who isn't genuine? Stoic philosophy teaches us to live according to our true nature and be authentic with ourselves. If you pretend to be someone you are not, the facade will inevitably fall. There is nothing more attractive than someone who is genuine and unfiltered. So, how do you make someone miss you and want your presence without resorting to cheap tricks? The answer is simple. Be yourself. Authenticity always wins. When you show up as you are, you create a real, lasting connection. It's not about saying the right things or making the right moves. It's about being vulnerable and real. A study by psychologist William Swan, known as the self-verifying theory, found that people are drawn to others who show their true identity and are recognized and appreciated for it. Being authentic isn't just more satisfying, it's also more effective in forming meaningful, lasting connections. To connect with someone in a true way, leave behind the masks and techniques. Share your thoughts and feelings honestly, and don't be afraid to show your vulnerabilities. They are what make you human, and therefore attractive. Ask genuine questions, listen attentively, and create a space where both of you can share and grow. This kind of connection will make the other person think of you when you're not around. Remember, the key to being missed and desired isn't in artificial seduction techniques, but in authenticity. Let go of the tricks and masks and show up just as you are. Only then will you create a relationship that is truly meaningful and worth having. As Seneca wisely said, there is no greater seduction than the naked truth of who you truly are. True communication of freedom is a liberating experience. There's nothing more magical than feeling free to be yourself, and that feeling can be fostered in a relationship where you are encouraged to be authentic. Stoic philosophy teaches us that internal freedom is one of the greatest gifts we can both offer and receive. But how do we communicate this freedom to another person? First, make it clear that you are free with them. There's nothing more attractive than the feeling of being accepted for who you truly are. Think of it like taking off your shoes after a long day. It's an immediate feeling of release. Similarly, offer that same freedom to the other person. Allow them to shed their masks and be their true selves. It may sound idealistic, but freedom is about living in the present moment, without judgment of the past or worrying about the future. Psychology supports this idea as well. A study by the University of Rochester found that relationships where individuals feel free and autonomous are much more satisfying. According to the researchers, when people feel they can be themselves and their choices are respected, they experience greater well-being and a deeper connection with their partners. If you're wondering how to make someone miss you and want your presence, the answer lies in offering freedom. Don't obsess over every message or measure the value of your relationship by the frequency of communication. Instead, create a safe space where the other person can truly be themselves. Imagine being an oasis in the middle of a desert, a place where someone can recharge and find peace. That, my friend, is irresistible. And don't worry about past baggage. Let it stay where it belongs, in the past. Focus on what you can share now, creating genuine moments that will be remembered. When you focus on the present, you create meaningful experiences that stay with the other person. Freedom is fundamentally tied to trust. Trust in yourself and in what you have to offer. You don't have to be perfect to be authentic. Authenticity is like a refreshing breeze on a hot day. It's welcome and soothing. When you show up as your true self, without apologies, you create a space where others feel safe to do the same. In this space of authenticity and mutual acceptance, something genuine and deep can grow. There are no magical techniques or step-by-step guides for this, but think of how you can embody the freedom you seek. If you want someone to miss you, don't burden them with constant reminders of your presence. Instead, become like a pleasant memory, like a catchy song that lingers in their mind. Be the person who offers space to breathe and is always willing to listen. Communication rooted in freedom doesn't involve games or manipulative strategies. It's about creating an environment where both individuals can truly be themselves, enjoying the present without being weighed down by the past. The true essence of connection lies in trusting the authenticity of what you share with one another. Freedom, at its core, is the greatest attraction you can offer. Remember this: there is no greater freedom than to be fully yourself in the company of another. This freedom is the key to establishing a genuine and lasting connection. When it comes to desire, the idea is not about forcing it, but allowing it to naturally grow. Think of the plant you water and care for. If you keep giving it constant attention without letting it breathe, it may eventually wilt. Desire in relationships works the same way. Sometimes less is more. Giving someone the space to miss you is essential. It's not about disappearing entirely, but rather about offering them a break so they can feel your absence and long for your presence. Imagine you're the star of an amazing movie. If people watch it repeatedly without pause, the excitement will eventually fade. The same happens in relationships. Constant contact can dull the mystery and excitement that keep things fresh. The key is balance. Let the relationship breathe. Don't always be available. If your presence is always at their fingertips, they may take it for granted. Think of yourself as a fascinating book, something to savor in small doses, not something to devour in one sitting. Stoic philosophy encourages us to seek moderation in all things, and this principle is valuable in relationships as well. It's not about playing games, but rather about maintaining a sense of mystery and individuality. Research by psychologist Sandra Murray at the University of Buffalo supports this idea, showing that couples who maintain a sense of independence within their relationship report higher satisfaction and desire. A little distance, she finds, gives people space to reflect on their partner and appreciate their presence more. It's also crucial to cultivate your own interests and passions. This not only makes you more attractive, but gives you something to talk about when you meet. When you're not together, The other person will not only miss you, but will also miss hearing about the interesting things you do. Maintaining independence is essential. No one wants to be with someone who depends entirely on the relationship for their happiness. You must continue growing as a person, pursuing your own goals and ambitions. This principle is deeply embedded in Stoic teachings about self-sufficiency and self-discipline. Physical space is equally important. If you live together or spend a lot of time in the same space, get out of the house, take a walk by yourself, read in a cafe, or pursue an activity on your own. When you return, your time apart will feel like a breath of fresh air. Communication remains key. It's not about vanishing without a word, but about establishing healthy boundaries. Speak openly about the importance of personal space and how it benefits both partners. Honesty and transparency build trust and mutual respect. Creating space is not about playing tricks or disappearing entirely. It's about allowing room for desire to grow. By being independent, maintaining your own interests, and communicating openly, you can encourage both yourself and the other person to miss and appreciate each other more. Desire thrives on the freedom to grow and breathe, and in relationships, that means balancing time spent together with space for individuality. Now, let's talk about attachment. It's common to yearn for meaningful connections, as if every interaction might be the last drop of water in an endless desert. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of not clinging to any one connection. It may sound counterintuitive, especially in a world where connections are just a touch away, but the secret is not to obsess over them. Think of yourself like the sun, bright and unique. Not every planet will revolve around you, but there will always be one that does. You don't need to force connections. Let them happen naturally. Trust that if a connection doesn't materialize, it's because something better is waiting for you. This mentality brings freedom and makes you more attractive. When you let go of desperation, you shine with self-confidence, which acts as a powerful magnet. Imagine you're a gardener. If you water a plant out of desperation, it won't thrive. Instead, tend to your own garden. Focus on your hobbies, friendships, and personal growth. Allow yourself to bloom and become a more fascinating person. Absence, as the saying goes, makes the heart grow fonder. When you're not always available, the other person will begin to appreciate you more. They'll long for your company because it isn't always there. Research from Stanford University shows that security in oneself is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess. People who exude self-confidence and don't depend on others for validation tend to attract more interest. This type of emotional independence and self-affirmation is essential for creating stronger, more lasting connections. This doesn't mean playing mind games or disappearing without a word. It's about balancing time and energy, giving enough to show you care, but holding back a little to maintain your own sense of self. It's a delicate balance between being present and giving space. Remember, the Stoics believed in accepting things as they are, not fighting against what's inevitable. Rather than clinging to what could be, appreciate what you have in the moment and trust that what is meant for you will arrive at the right time. Lastly, leaving toxic relationships is crucial for your well-being. Imagine life as a journey with a backpack that you carry with you. At first, you might not notice the weight, but over time, the burden becomes overwhelming. You must decide what to carry with you and what to leave behind in order to move forward with more lightness and happiness. The same applies to toxic relationships. No matter how much you try, some relationships will never improve. If you find yourself in a relationship that makes you feel heavier, sadder, or unappreciated, it's time to reevaluate and perhaps let go. Recognizing a toxic relationship is not always easy. You might question whether you're overreacting. This is when the perspective of close friends can be invaluable. They can offer a clearer view of the situation. If multiple trusted people agree that a relationship is harming you, it's worth taking their advice seriously. Relationships should be places of mutual respect, appreciation, and positive energy. If your efforts are consistently unacknowledged, or if your feelings are disregarded, it's time to step back. Remember, surrounding yourself with people who appreciate you is essential for your emotional health. A study conducted by the University of California in Los Angeles revealed that having healthy, supportive relationships can greatly enhance happiness and reduce stress levels. Now, when it comes to making someone miss you and want you, the answer doesn't lie in manipulating or forcing situations. The real key is authenticity and valuing yourself. When you make the decision to let go of a toxic relationship, it sends a clear and strong message that you have enough self-respect not to settle for less than you deserve. This can serve as a reality check for the other person. Sometimes the best tools for making someone realize they miss you are distance and time. To make someone miss you, first, you must learn to enjoy your own company. Dedicate time to your hobbies, explore new activities, and surround yourself with positive people. Work on your personal growth. Stoic philosophy teaches us to find peace within ourselves and not to rely on external circumstances for our happiness. By focusing on your own development, you naturally become a more attractive person, not just to others, but to yourself as well. Letting go of toxic relationships is also an act of self-love. Though it is challenging, it is essential for your emotional well-being and growth. Learn to value yourself, seek support from your friends, and make sure to surround yourself with people who truly appreciate you. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you make space for what you truly deserve. Next, let's talk about the power of positivity. Have you ever wondered how to make someone miss you? No, we're not talking about becoming a love magician, but rather becoming a person so positively magnetic that others simply want to be around you. You should aim to be like that morning cup of coffee that everyone needs to start the day with a smile. That is the kind of energy you should evoke in the people around you. But how can you achieve this without seeming forced or unnatural? The answer lies in adopting a Stoic philosophy, combined with a sense of humor and a great deal of positivity. This approach not only works, but it is also highly effective. Being a positive person doesn't mean you ignore problems or live in a fantasy world. Instead, it means facing life with resilience and optimism. When you can see the glass as half full and inspire others to do the same, people will be naturally drawn to you. Positivity, like sunlight, is something everyone gravitates toward, although they might not want it constantly. The key is balance. If you manage to keep a cheerful and calm demeanor even in difficult times, people will be attracted to you because you radiate peace and well-being. This is one of the fundamental teachings of Stoic philosophy, maintaining inner peace regardless of external circumstances. A study conducted by the University of California in 2008 showed that people with a positive attitude and those who practice optimism are more likely to form stronger and more satisfying interpersonal relationships. This research underscores how positivity not only improves our personal well-being, but also strengthens our bonds with others. Now, let's move on to the role of humor. Having a sense of humor doesn't mean being the clown of the group, but rather it means being able to laugh at yourself and at the little, unimportant things. Humor is a powerful tool for breaking the ice and forming genuine connections. For example, When faced with a setback, instead of complaining, find the humor in the situation. Laughter is contagious and can lighten the mood, making people associate your presence with positive experiences. A useful technique here is to adopt what we might call strategic lightness. Imagine yourself as someone who rises above daily problems with a calm and positive outlook. This approach will not only help you maintain a good mood, but will also attract others who desire that same lightness in their own lives. To be someone who others miss and desire, you must combine positivity with humor. This combination will make you more attractive and help you create deeper, lasting relationships. From a Stoic perspective, staying calm and joyful in the face of challenges will make people seek your company. Remember, positivity and humor aren't about denying reality. They are about choosing how you wish to face it. Be the ray of sunshine in others' lives, and you'll soon find that they want more of your light. Now, let's turn to an important piece of advice. Don't be in a hurry to fall in love. How often have you found yourself staring at the ceiling, wondering when the person who will change your life will appear? Popular culture bombards us with the idea that we need someone else to be happy. But what if I told you that love comes when you least expect it? In the meantime, you have something much more important to focus on: yourself. Stoic philosophy teaches us a key lesson. Tranquility and self-control are essential for a fulfilling life. You don't need someone else to complete you. You are already a complete person, just as you are. Instead of searching for someone to fill a void, focus on yourself. Working on your personal growth may seem like a never-ending task, but it is this dedication that will make you shine brighter. Think of your life as a garden. If you spend all your time waiting for someone else to plant flowers for you, you will miss out on the beauty of growing your own. By investing time in your passions, friendships, and skills, you'll build a richer, more fulfilling life. The more you enrich your own life, the more you'll have to offer when the right person comes along. Waiting for love can feel frustrating, especially in a world where instant gratification is the norm. But love doesn't follow the rules of fast delivery. It can't be ordered like a package from Amazon, and that's okay. The waiting period has its own magic. It's in that pause where you truly get to know yourself and figure out what you want in a partner. A study by psychologist Susan Sprecher from Cleveland State University shows that people who take time to work on their personal growth before entering a relationship tend to experience more satisfying and lasting relationships. These individuals, who aren't in a rush to find love, are clearer about what they seek in a partner and develop stronger self-esteem. Life isn't a race, and love isn't either. You can spend hours searching for a shooting star and see nothing, but when it finally appears, you'll realize it was worth the wait. When love comes into your life, it will be a result of all the time you spent nurturing yourself. When two people who have cultivated their personal gardens meet, the beauty is indescribable. Remember, love isn't about completing someone or being completed. It's about sharing your fullness. So don't rush. True love isn't something you chase. It finds you when you're ready. Finally, let's talk about the value of friendship and mutual support. Have you ever thought about how to make someone miss you? There's no magic trick, but there is something often overlooked: the importance of friendship and mutual support. In a world where relationships seem fleeting, a strong foundation of friendship can be the key to building lasting, meaningful connections. Often we focus too much on passion, chemistry, and the fireworks that occur at the start of a relationship. But what happens when that initial spark fades? This is where friendship becomes essential. A deep, authentic friendship doesn't just keep the flame alive, it provides the support necessary for any relationship to thrive. Imagine your relationship as a house of cards. The passion and attraction are like the delicate cards placed on top, fragile and vulnerable to the smallest disruption. On the other hand, friendship and mutual support form the solid foundation of the structure, much like the sturdy base of a house of cards. Without this strong base, the entire structure would collapse at the slightest gust of wind. From the very beginning, I promised to provide you with a series of infallible recommendations. Pay close attention to them, and feel free to revisit this video as many times as you deem necessary. Now let's talk about how to build a solid friendship that will make someone miss you and desire your presence even more. Here are a few simple yet effective steps you can follow. First, become a good listener. While we all enjoy talking, listening is an art in itself. Show genuine interest in what the other person has to say and pay close attention to their words. It's in the little details that we demonstrate our care for others, and this helps to create a deeper and stronger bond. Second, share your interests and passions. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true contentment comes from within and not from depending on others for our happiness. Share the hobbies, books, and movies that inspire you. Doing so helps create common ground and fosters a sense of connection and understanding. Third, provide support in difficult times. Life isn't always smooth sailing, and when someone faces hardships, being there for them in their darkest moments creates a unique bond. It is during these challenging times that the strength of your relationship will truly be tested. Fourth, be authentic. Never try to be someone you're not. Authenticity is not only attractive, but it also builds a foundation of trust. By being true to yourself, you open the door to finding someone who values and loves you for who you really are. This idea is not just based on common sense. Research supports the importance of authenticity and friendship in relationships. Studies conducted by John Gottman, a renowned psychologist and relationship expert, reveal that couples who prioritize and value friendship in their relationships experience greater happiness and have marriages that last longer. In fact, Gottman found that 70% of marital satisfaction can be attributed to the quality of the friendship between partners. This reinforces the notion that a solid foundation of friendship not only strengthens the relationship, but also increases the chances that both partners will miss each other and desire each other more. A relationship grounded in friendship and mutual support is like a fine wine. It only gets better with time. Passion and chemistry may ignite at the beginning of a relationship, but it is the strength of the friendship that will keep it enduring and strong. So, if you want someone to miss you and want you, focus on building a deep and meaningful friendship and be a constant source of support for them. Life can be complicated and chaotic, but with a solid foundation of friendship, any relationship can withstand the storms. Remember, it's not about being the most attractive or charming person in the room, but about being the friend and companion that everyone would want to have. True friendship and mutual support are not obligations. They arise from the genuine pleasure of being there for one another. Next time you wonder how to make someone miss you, remember that the key may lie in the strength of the friendship and mutual support you offer. So, take the time to build your house of cards with a solid foundation, and you'll enjoy a lasting and fulfilling relationship. If you found this lesson valuable, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. We often go out of our way for the people we care about, sacrificing time, energy, and emotions just to show them how much they mean to us. We worry about them, support them, and sometimes give too much of ourselves. But unfortunately, there are moments when our kindness is taken for granted. Some people manipulate our good nature, pretending to be genuine while only looking out for their own interests. They appear kind and friendly when they want something, but once their needs are met, they vanish like a bird soaring off into the sky, leaving us behind, confused and hurt. So how do we take back our power after experiencing situations like these? That's what we're exploring today. We'll uncover 9 vital truths about the complex dynamics between men and women, grounded in the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. These principles have withstood centuries, guiding countless individuals toward clarity and inner strength. By consciously avoiding these 9 behaviors, you'll start to see noticeable improvements in your relationships. Even more importantly, you'll find a renewed sense of personal empowerment. If you're going through a difficult phase in your relationship, now is the time to pause, clear your mind, and take this transformative journey with us. Let's begin with the idea of changing your life to fit someone else's. Picture trying to complete a puzzle where none of the pieces seem to belong together. It's frustrating and confusing. That's exactly what it feels like when you alter yourself to meet the expectations of others. As Seneca put it, everywhere means nowhere. When you're constantly trying to be everything to everyone, you end up feeling lost, disconnected, and unsure of your path. Rather than blending into the background like a chameleon, embrace the boldness of being a shining star in the night sky. Own your individuality. Be proud of what sets you apart. Don't let others dictate the direction of your life. It's time to reclaim control and walk confidently in your own direction. Remember, your life is your own unique narrative, not a copy of someone else's. Let your authenticity be your light, and paint the world with your true essence and purpose. Next, don't let your world revolve entirely around one person. Obsessing over someone else can make you feel like a satellite stuck in orbit, always circling but never grounded. When your focus is consumed by another's life, you begin to lose sight of your own dreams and the qualities that make you who you are. Instead of feeding your ambitions, you end up attending to someone else's needs while neglecting your own desire for fulfillment. As the wise Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter retreat than in his own soul." When you immerse yourself too deeply in another person's life, you lose balance. You slip into the background, diminishing your self-worth. Break free from that gravitational pull. Stop orbiting their world. Don't let anyone compromise your mental well-being or steal your happiness. You are not a side character in someone else's script. You are the star of your own journey. Never forget that, and never allow anyone to dim your inner light. Equally important is this: don't sacrifice your mental health for someone else's happiness. Prioritizing another person's needs over your emotional well-being is like handing over your flashlight in the middle of a dark forest. You're left stumbling, confused, and alone. When you constantly put their happiness above your own, you're surrendering control of your inner peace. Instead of finding contentment, you end up caught in a cycle of self-neglect, always trying to please them while your own soul grows weary. It's vital to step back and reclaim ownership of your life. Your happiness and mental well-being are priceless, and they should never be handed over in exchange for fleeting moments of approval. You deserve to be the main character in your life story. Protect your inner sanctuary with unwavering resolve. Build resilience, and don't allow anyone to rob you of your joy. Your mind is yours alone, and only you have the power to shape your destiny. Another mistake we often make is distancing ourselves from friends and family for the sake of one person. Abandoning your support system because you're infatuated with someone else is like cutting the very branches that hold up your tree. Friends and family are those branches. They've been there through your struggles and victories. When you push them away, you're not just losing people, you're weakening the very foundation that supports you. As Plato wisely said, people can either help you grow and thrive or hinder your development and cause you to wither. Isolating yourself makes your journey much harder than it needs to be. Take the initiative to reconnect with those who truly care. These relationships are irreplaceable. They form a network of strength that anchors you. Embrace those who stood by you through both storms and sunshine. They are the ones who nourish your soul and help you stand tall. Lastly, don't pour all your precious time into someone who doesn't value it. Investing every waking moment into another person's endless demands is like throwing your most valuable resource, time, into a bottomless pit. Every second you devote excessively is a piece of your life that you can never get back. Time is your most limited and sacred gift. If you give it away carelessly, especially to someone who doesn't reciprocate or appreciate it, you end up empty, depleted, and drained. Instead of building something meaningful, you find yourself stuck in a loop of emotional exhaustion. Remember that your time is not just a clock ticking, it's the essence of your life. Spend it wisely. Give it to those who uplift you, who value your presence, and who contribute to your growth. Don't waste your hours chasing approval or affection from those who vanish once their needs are met. Your time is your power. Guard it, cherish it, and use it to build the life you truly deserve. When you devote yourself excessively to someone or something, you're surrendering a part of your life that you can never retrieve. Time is constantly slipping away. Don't squander it. Time is your most precious possession, not an infinite currency that can be exchanged on demand. As the wise Checker once observed, the problem isn't that life is too short, but that we waste much of it. By handing all your time to another person, you're giving away the most vibrant and meaningful moments of your existence. Remember, your time is solely yours. It does not belong to anyone else. Don't allow your entire life to revolve around others. Seek balance. Invest your time with care. Treat it like a rare treasure and pour it into efforts that ignite your passion, that nurture your personal growth, and that bring you genuine satisfaction. Always remember, you are the one who holds authority over your own time. Do not let it be wasted on someone who may never truly understand or value its worth. There is no need to reveal every detail of your past, especially the painful parts. Sharing your complete past with someone is like opening up the deepest chambers of your heart and soul. It means exposing every hidden struggle and challenge that helped shape who you are today. These intimate and difficult experiences are a sacred part of your personal journey. They are the trials that you alone have endured and conquered. You don't owe it to anyone to lay them all bare. Revealing everything could invite judgment or turn those moments into casual entertainment for others. Doing so not only makes you vulnerable to emotional harm, but also risks exploitation. Protect your story. Guard it. Only share what is necessary and meaningful. Preserve the essential pieces of your narrative with the same care you would give to a fragile treasure. This act of protection is what empowers you and reinforces your strength. Do not hand over your defenses to someone who might misuse them. Be wise and intentional about who you entrust with your life's history. It is yours alone. It's not meant to be offered up just to satisfy someone's fleeting curiosity. Your story deserves more reverence than that. Don't compromise yourself just to satisfy others. Agreeing to do things that don't resonate with you is a quiet betrayal of your own joy. It's like trading the passions that once lit up your soul for tasks or interests that leave you feeling empty. Marcus Aurelius once said that the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. When you are pushed to act in ways that oppose your authentic desires, it's natural to feel an unsettling discontent, as if you are drifting further and further from your true path. But it doesn't have to be this way. It's time to break free from the endless cycle of pleasing others. Instead of always saying yes, embrace the power and clarity that comes with saying no. Reclaim ownership of your time and your decisions. Life is not a performance where you must constantly earn the approval of others. It's about being real, about choosing authenticity. Stay true to who you are, even when it feels hard. Listen to your inner voice. If something feels off, have the courage to walk away. Your life is your own to shape. It is not just a background story in someone else's drama. You are the main character, the hero of your own tale. Now is the time to step into that role fully and live by your own values, on your own terms. Do not allow fear of being alone to dictate your choices. When you make decisions out of fear, especially the fear of loneliness, it's like navigating through darkness without a guiding light. Fear, when left unchecked, can lead you down roads you were never meant to travel. But remember, being alone is not the same as being lonely. As Aristotle wisely pointed out, understanding yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Use your time alone as an opportunity to go deeper into your soul. Embrace your unique identity. Spend quality time with yourself. Learn to enjoy your own presence. Discover the inner riches that lie within you. The more connected you become with yourself, the more prepared you are for meaningful relationships. When you finally choose to share your life with someone, it won't be out of desperation. It will be because that person complements your joy and enhances your existence. Value yourself. Don't fall into the trap of letting fear rule your life. The journey of self-discovery must be lit by the flame of courage. Let that courage guide you toward a life filled with fulfillment and real, heartfelt connections. Don't forget to pause and celebrate the small victories. In the chaos of life, while trying to meet expectations and please others, we often overlook our own growth. Yet every step forward, no matter how tiny it may seem, deserves to be acknowledged. Picture your life as a long journey. With each step, you're getting closer to your dreams. Think about all the small triumphs along the way. They are like markers, proof of your strength, your resilience, and your determination. Epictetus wisely said to never rely on the admiration of others. So take a moment to acknowledge your own progress. Celebrate what you've achieved, no matter how insignificant it might appear to others. Appreciate the late nights, the hard work, the doubts you've conquered. Every single success, big or small, is a testament to your endurance and your growth. Embrace them, cherish them. Let these quiet victories remind you of how far you've come and how strong you truly are. It is not solely about reaching a final destination. It is about embracing every bend in the road, every success, and every stumble along the way. Let us raise a toast to the path we are on, finding joy not just in the outcomes, but in the moments, the lessons, and the beauty of the process itself. As we draw this part of our journey to a close today, take a moment to reflect on the incredible power that lies in your choices and the unmatched beauty of accepting and embodying your true self. You carry within you the strength and the wisdom to make decisions that align with your deepest truths, even when they diverge from what others expect of you. As life unfolds with its unpredictable twists and turns, keep your focus on cultivating inner virtues, wisdom to see clearly, courage to act rightly, justice to treat others fairly, and self-control to remain grounded. These are not mere ideals. They are the foundation of a life rich with purpose and fulfillment, far more rewarding than a life spent chasing outside approval. Always remember, you are free to shape your own path. Celebrate your individuality and write a life story that is rooted in your own principles and beliefs. There is no need to compromise your integrity or sacrifice your well-being for the sake of pleasing others. You have the ability and the right to take the reins of your life, to make choices that reflect the truth of who you are. The Stoics taught us that real freedom comes from within, from knowing that while we cannot control everything, we do control our thoughts and actions. So when you feel pressured to fit into someone else's mold, to surrender your time, or to reveal more of yourself than you're comfortable with, remember that you have the right to choose a different path. You are under no obligation to live according to someone else's expectations. You have the right and the responsibility to carve out a path that reflects what truly matters to you. Now is the moment to shift direction. Choose to change. Commit to letting go of the habits and patterns that no longer serve you. Focus your energy on becoming the highest version of yourself, no matter what obstacles lie ahead. And if today's reflection has spoken to your soul, consider expressing your appreciation. Imagine facing immense challenges and adversities only to emerge stronger and wiser on the other side. What if you could tap into an ancient source of wisdom to guide you through life's trials today? Let's explore the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, a great Roman emperor and philosopher, and discover how his timeless wisdom can help us build resilience and inner strength when faced with adversity. Marcus Aurelius, despite being one of the most powerful men of his time, encountered countless struggles, from political upheavals to personal losses. Amid these challenges, he wrote his deeply introspective and insightful book, Meditations, as a way of self-improvement and reflection. His personal thoughts have inspired countless people over the centuries, providing guidance on how to live a virtuous and fulfilling life. In today's fast-paced and uncertain world, resilience and inner strength are more essential than ever. We are constantly faced with changes in our careers, relationships, and personal lives. What if we could learn to navigate these changes with grace and wisdom, turning adversity into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery? This is where Marcus Aurelius's Meditations can help. As a philosopher and historical figure, he emphasized the importance of cultivating inner virtues and practicing self-control. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we can overcome external circumstances and maintain balance and serenity. In essence, Stoicism teaches us to be the architects of our own happiness and well-being, no matter the challenges we face. In this video, we'll dive into 10 timeless life lessons from Marcus Aurelius that will help us build resilience and inner strength. These lessons offer practical advice for dealing with difficult situations and will inspire us to develop a more resilient mindset in daily life. By applying his wisdom, we can become better equipped to deal with adversity, grow from our experiences, and ultimately live a more fulfilling life. As we journey through these lessons, we'll explore the importance of controlling our thoughts and perceptions, accepting what we cannot change, focusing on the present moment, cultivating humility and empathy, and much more. Whether you're facing personal or professional setbacks or seeking guidance on living a more balanced life, Marcus Aurelius's teachings can serve as a powerful source of wisdom and inspiration. Lesson 1. Control your perception. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Our perception of the world shapes our reality, influencing how we react to situations, interact with others, and ultimately feel about ourselves. By recognizing that our reactions are based on our perspectives, we can let go of the urge to control what's beyond our reach. A useful technique for cultivating this mindset is detachment. Detachment involves recognizing the impermanent nature of life, understanding that everything is subject to change. By embracing this, we can develop a more balanced perspective and learn to flow with life's natural changes. When faced with a challenge, remind yourself that this too shall pass, and approach the situation with an open heart and mind. Meditation can also help promote acceptance. Setting aside time each day to calm your mind and observe your thoughts and emotions helps you develop a better understanding of your reactions. This increased self-awareness allows you to more easily recognize when you're struggling to accept what can't be changed and adopt a more receptive mindset. Learning to accept the things we cannot change is essential for building resilience and inner strength. By practicing awareness, detachment, and meditation, we can cultivate a more balanced approach to life's challenges. This mindset not only helps us face adversity with grace, but also allows us to appreciate life's beauty and richness. Marcus Aurelius beautifully captures this philosophy. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. His emphasis on living in the present moment reminds us not to be consumed by past regrets or future anxieties. By focusing on the here and now, we can experience life more fully and find peace and contentment. Living in the present moment offers numerous benefits: reduced stress and anxiety, increased self-awareness, and improved mental well-being. When we practice mindfulness, we engage fully with our experiences and emotions without being distracted by worries. This heightened awareness allows us to better understand ourselves and our environment, promoting personal growth and self-discovery. One way to cultivate mindfulness is through meditation. To practice, find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. When thoughts and emotions arise, acknowledge them without judgment and gently return your focus to your breath. Doing this for just 5 minutes a day can significantly improve your well-being. Another effective way to stay present is by incorporating mindful activities into your daily routine. For example, try mindful eating, where you fully savor each bite and pay attention to the flavors and textures of your food, or mindful walking, where you focus on the sensations in your body and the environment around you. By making mindfulness a part of everyday life, you can become more attuned to the present moment and develop a deeper awareness of your thoughts and emotions. Consider setting aside time each day for reflection. Writing in a journal is a great way to process your experiences and emotions, helping you stay present and recognize patterns in your thoughts and behaviors. This practice can provide valuable insights, helping you make more conscious choices moving forward. Lesson 4. Cultivate humility and empathy. Before you criticize someone, ask yourself, which of my own faults most resemble what I'm about to criticize? Humility and empathy are essential for building resilience and inner strength. These virtues help us develop stronger relationships, foster a compassionate mindset, and remind us to reflect on our own imperfections before judging others. By practicing humility, we acknowledge that we are not perfect and that we can learn from others, regardless of their status or background. This attitude makes us more receptive to feedback and personal growth, helping us overcome challenges and adapt more effectively. To practice humility in daily life, focus on listening more and speaking less. Pay attention to others' ideas and opinions and remain open to the possibility that you may be wrong or have something to learn. Be willing to admit mistakes and take responsibility for your actions. This openness can foster personal growth and a more resilient mindset. Empathy involves understanding and connecting with others by putting yourself in their shoes. It enables you to navigate difficult situations and strengthens your relationships, making you more resilient in the face of adversity. To develop empathy, practice active listening. Give others your full attention, strive to understand without judgment, and ask open-ended questions to encourage deeper conversations. Volunteering and engaging in acts of service can also help you build empathy by offering insights into the struggles and emotions of others. Humility and empathy are key to building resilience and inner strength. By practicing active listening, self-reflection, and compassion, we can develop a more empathetic and humble perspective on life. Lesson 5. Practice gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, remember how precious the gift of life is: breathing, thinking, enjoying, and loving. Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the power and importance of gratitude. By focusing on our blessings and appreciating the beauty of life, we can cultivate a more positive mindset and build resilience in the face of challenges. Studies show that expressing gratitude regularly leads to increased happiness, better mental health, stronger relationships, and even improved physical health. Grateful people tend to experience lower stress and anxiety levels and are better equipped to handle difficult situations. To integrate gratitude into your daily life, start a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how big or small. This simple practice helps shift your focus from negative thoughts to positive ones, allowing you to recognize the good things that often go unnoticed. Another way to practice gratitude is by expressing appreciation to others. Take time to thank your friends, family, and colleagues for their support and kindness. Acknowledging the value of their contributions not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your sense of gratitude. Also, make a habit of reflecting on your personal growth. Recognize the achievements and challenges you've overcome, and appreciate the lessons learned along the way. By focusing on the journey you've traveled, you can cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude for the experiences that have shaped you. Paying attention to the present moment also plays a crucial role in developing gratitude. Notice small joys and pleasures, like the warmth of the sun or the laughter of a loved one, and savor these moments. Practicing gratitude in this way helps you appreciate life's simple gifts, enhancing your overall well-being and building resilience. Lesson 6. Embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In this powerful lesson, Marcus Aurelius teaches us to see adversity not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as an opportunity for personal growth and self-development. By shifting our perspective on challenges and setbacks, we can cultivate greater resilience and inner strength, allowing us to embrace the growth that adversity offers. Challenges provide avenues for personal growth in various ways, such as helping us build new skills, gain valuable experience, and learn more about ourselves and our abilities. Overcoming adversity can also boost our self-confidence as we recognize our capability to face difficult situations and emerge stronger. To reframe adversity as a growth opportunity, start by adopting a growth mindset. The belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. When confronted with a challenge, ask yourself what skills or knowledge you can gain from the experience and how it can help you become a better, more capable person. Another helpful technique is to practice reframing negative thoughts. When facing a difficult situation, try to identify the negative thoughts that arise and consciously transform them into positive, empowering statements. For example, if you think, "I'll never be able to handle this," reframe it as, "This is a challenging situation, but I can learn and grow from it." You can also draw inspiration from the lives of others who have overcome adversity. Research famous figures, read biographies, or listen to podcasts about individuals who faced significant challenges and turned them into stepping stones for success. These examples serve as powerful reminders of the growth potential present in every obstacle. Lastly, consider seeking support from friends, family, or professionals when facing adversity. Surrounding yourself with a support network can offer valuable encouragement, advice, and fresh perspectives, helping you see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. Embracing adversity as a growth opportunity is key to building resilience and inner strength. By adopting a growth mindset, reframing negative thoughts, seeking inspiration, and relying on support from others, we can view challenges as chances to learn, grow, and become better versions of ourselves. Lesson 7. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the vital role that rational thinking plays in our happiness and our ability to overcome adversity. By guiding our thoughts and actions with reason, we can make more informed decisions, manage our emotions better, and face challenges with greater clarity and resilience. Rational thinking helps us assess situations objectively, identify potential solutions, and weigh the pros and cons of each option. By approaching challenges logically, we can minimize the influence of impulsive emotions such as fear or anger, which often cloud our judgment and lead to poor decisions. To develop rational thinking, practice critical thinking skills. This involves questioning assumptions, evaluating evidence, and considering alternative viewpoints. When faced with a difficult situation, step back and ask yourself what assumptions you might be making, whether there's enough evidence to support your beliefs, and if there are alternative solutions you may have overlooked. Another way to cultivate rational thinking is through regular self-reflection. By periodically examining our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, we can gain a deeper understanding of our motivations, biases, and thinking patterns. This self-awareness helps us recognize when our thoughts might be influenced by emotions or false assumptions, allowing us to shift toward a more logical approach. It's also essential to practice emotional regulation, as strong emotions can interfere with rational thinking. Techniques such as mindfulness meditation and deep breathing exercises can help manage emotions more effectively, creating the mental space needed for clear and logical thinking. Lastly, seek opportunities to enhance your problem-solving skills. Engage in activities that challenge your mind, like solving puzzles, playing strategy games, or participating in debates. These experiences can strengthen your logical thinking abilities and improve your capacity to face adversity with reason and clarity. Guided by reason, we can approach life's challenges with greater clarity and success. By practicing critical thinking, engaging in self-reflection, managing emotions, and honing problem-solving skills, we can develop a rational mindset that supports our resilience and growth. Lesson 8. Cultivating inner peace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the quality of our thoughts greatly affects our emotional state and inner peace. Cultivating inner peace is essential for building resilience and maintaining emotional balance, as it helps us face challenges more effectively while preserving a sense of calm. Inner peace is important for several reasons. First, it enables us to manage stress and anxiety more effectively. When we are at peace with ourselves, we can handle life's pressures and uncertainties with greater ease. This emotional equilibrium helps prevent burnout, reduces the risk of mental health issues, and promotes overall well-being. Second, inner peace allows us to think more clearly and make better decisions. When our minds are not clouded by emotional turmoil, we can approach challenges with greater clarity and focus. This enables us to develop more effective solutions and strategies. One way to cultivate inner peace is by engaging in activities that bring joy and relaxation, such as spending time in nature, dedicating yourself to hobbies, or connecting with loved ones. Prioritizing self-care and participating in soul-nourishing activities can help replenish your emotional reserves, promoting a sense of balance and tranquility. It's also crucial to develop healthy ways to deal with stress and negative emotions. This might include practicing deep breathing exercises or engaging in physical activities like yoga or hiking. These techniques can help redirect your attention and restore emotional equilibrium. Additionally, adopting a regular gratitude practice can promote inner peace. By focusing on the positive aspects of your life and expressing gratitude for your blessings, you can cultivate a more optimistic perspective. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Consider yourself strong, as many people give up along the way. Leave a comment saying, "I am a new person," to show your strength and determination. Now that you've made it this far, you're definitely going to stay until the end. Lesson 9. Embrace what is spiritually superior, regardless of what others think or do. In this lesson, Marcus Aurelius urges us to detach from external events and circumstances, focusing instead on our internal values and spiritual growth. By not seeking validation or satisfaction from external sources, we can develop greater resilience and inner strength. The benefits of detachment are numerous. It helps maintain emotional stability in the face of adversity, prevents excessive attachment to outcomes, possessions, or others' opinions, and reduces stress, anxiety, and disappointment. To cultivate detachment in everyday life, start by becoming more aware of your thoughts and reactions to external events. Observe your emotions and thoughts without clinging to them. This increased self-awareness helps you recognize when you're overly invested in external circumstances and allows you to consciously redirect your focus inward. Another way to practice detachment is by regularly reminding yourself of life's impermanence. Acknowledge that possessions, relationships, and circumstances change, and that seeking lasting happiness from these external sources is ultimately futile. Instead, focus on finding contentment and inner fulfillment through personal growth, values, and spirituality. Developing a strong sense of identity and knowing your core values also helps cultivate detachment. When you have a clear understanding of what truly matters to you, it becomes easier to let go of external factors that don't align with your values. Take time to reflect on your core beliefs and let them guide your decisions and actions. Engage in regular spiritual or reflective practices such as meditation, journaling, or prayer. These practices deepen your connection with your inner self, foster detachment from external influences, and encourage a greater focus on personal growth and spiritual development. Practicing detachment from external events and circumstances is a powerful tool for building resilience and inner strength. By cultivating mindfulness, embracing impermanence, understanding your values, and engaging in spiritual practices, you can face life's challenges with greater grace and equanimity. Lesson 10. Appreciate what you have rather than long for what you don't. In this final lesson, Marcus Aurelius highlights the importance of perseverance and maintaining momentum in the face of adversity. By focusing on the blessings we already possess and nurturing a growth mindset, we can continue to evolve even through challenges. Perseverance is key to overcoming adversity, as it allows us to push through obstacles, learn from setbacks, and keep moving forward toward our goals, building resilience and inner strength along the way. To stay motivated and maintain a growth mindset, begin by setting clear, achievable goals that align with your values and passions. Having a clear vision of what you want to achieve will help you stay focused and motivated, even in the face of obstacles. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate your progress as you go. Another way to maintain motivation is by practicing self-compassion. Recognize that setbacks and challenges are natural parts of life, and treat yourself with kindness when facing difficulties. By cultivating self-compassion, you can maintain a positive attitude and keep moving forward, even when things are tough. Surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals can also help keep you motivated. Seek out friends, mentors, or support groups who share your values and goals, and draw inspiration from their successes and experiences. Set aside regular time to reflect on your progress, recognizing the obstacles you've overcome, the skills you've gained, and the growth you've achieved along the way. Maintaining perseverance and momentum is essential for overcoming adversity and building resilience. By practicing self-compassion, surrounding yourself with supportive individuals, and reflecting on your progress, you can sustain your motivation and keep moving forward, no matter what challenges life presents. We've just explored 10 powerful life lessons from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations that can help us build resilience and inner strength. These lessons offer insights on how to manage our perceptions, accept what we cannot change, focus on the present, develop humility and empathy, practice gratitude, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, be guided by reason, cultivate inner peace, practice detachment, and maintain constant momentum. By integrating these timeless teachings into our daily lives, we can foster personal growth, overcome adversity, and live more meaningful and purpose-driven lives. It's important to remember that building resilience and inner strength is a lifelong journey. Applying these lessons takes time, practice, and dedication. As you continue to face challenges, turn to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and strive to live according to the principles he expressed. Doing so will not only make you more resilient and resourceful in difficult times, but also help you discover a deeper sense of inner peace, purpose, and fulfillment. As we conclude, I encourage you to reflect on these 10 lessons and think about how you can apply them to your own journey of personal growth and self-discovery. Remember, Marcus Aurelius's wisdom is a timeless guide that can help you navigate life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and resilience. If you've made it this far, be sure to comment the phrase, "I am a new person," so I know this video has made a positive impact on your life. Thank you, and until next time.